I'm ready to win a world title. Chris Billam-Smith knockout.
That guy. It's a world title opportunity in his hometown. I'm going in there to hurt him.
I've shared the ring with him so much and I know how awkward he is.
Old trainer, bragging rights. There's so many different layers, do you know what I mean?
I know I can knock anyone in the world out.
Got a grown man who is trying to knock me out in front of his hometown fans.
There's going to be a lot more of them in there, just going to fuel me even more.
I punch harder, better tactician, more athletic. I'm physically stronger than him. I pretty much beat him in every department. I was top dog when I was in the gym. Am I still top dog? We have to see.
What's up, Boxer Nation? This is Big Mo here on Boxer's YouTube channel. Welcome to Fight Week here in sunny Bournemouth, England, as we head towards Lawrence Okolie's title defense this Saturday against Bournemouth's own Chris Billam-Smith inside Vitality Stadium. But we kick things off with this Fight Week with the open workouts. We head to the press conference tomorrow, the weigh-ins on Friday, and obviously the fight on Saturday live on Sky Sports. It's Boxer Fight Week. We're here on Bournemouth Beach, here on the Bournemouth Pier. I'm going to take you and send you right down there to Spencer Oliver and Savage Dan, Pierside.
Welcome to the Boxer stream. I'm happy to say we are in sunny Bournemouth. In May it can be a bit of hit and miss, but today we got a hit. I'm joined by Spencer Oliver. Spence, what a day for it.
Absolutely. Listen, we was back here. Remember we was back here last July. We had the same sort of weather. I mean, there's a real carnival atmosphere here today on the pier. The fighters are getting ready for this big fight on Saturday night. Lawrence Okolie defending his WBO Cruiserweight title, and in the fight against the local hero, Chris Billam-Smith, and a fight that promises to be explosive.
There's been some fighters in already. We've had Michael McKinson, we've had Tommy Welch, we've now got another local boy.
Lewis Edmondson.
Yeah. It's not far.
Not far.
What can we expect here? He looks like a nice big light heavy. I think he's 6-0. Popular boy as well.
Yeah, he is a popular boy. He actually used to train in my gym back in the day. Yeah, up back in London. He was there for a while. Very, very, very good talent. Nice and relaxed. He's improving all the time. That development is really coming. You look at his record, 6-0, like you say, with the 3 KOs. Those 3 KOs have coming in his last 3 fights. You know, this kid travels around, he spars with all the champions, and he's learning his trade, he's learning it well, oozes confidence. I'm expecting a big performance on Saturday night. Like you say, he's from 20 minutes down the road in Southampton. He sold over £30,000 worth of tickets for Saturday night, and he's buzzing for the occasion.
I mean, it's a Wednesday afternoon. Most people probably should be at work, but they're here. It's a packed crowd. I feel like this is going to be a very explosive and exciting fight week.
Absolutely. Listen, I think that if you look down the card and we see some of the fights that we've got on there, we've mentioned the top of the bill. It's one of those 50-50 fights. Who wins? Lawrence Okolie, who didn't look particularly good last time out against David Light, that's fair to say. Timing was out. He didn't really look like he was that interested going in against Chris Billam-Smith, who last time out looked sensational in that wicked knockout victory that he had. I think it was last December or so. So, you know, momentum's with Billam-Smith. Hometown advantage is with Billam-Smith. 15,000 fans in the Vitality Stadium. That is going to give him a massive lift. But Lawrence Okolie, as we know, delivers when it matters. And he'll be fighting different to the last time that he boxed at the O2 Arena against David Light. I'm expecting something different. Dan, I don't know about you, but I don't know who wins that fight.
I'm not sure either. You know, just before we get onto that, there are still a few remaining tickets. Go to boxer.com and get them. They will be gone by the time you want to buy them. Get them now.
Yeah.
So I can't call a winner either. Look, momentum and everything on paper is in Chris Billam-Smith's favour when you consider the trainer, the training situation, consider the home advantage of being in Bournemouth. Momentum, he's had very good performances here last year, twice out. And then when you couple that in with maybe Lawrence's inactivity and then his recent fight where he started to come alive in the end, you look at it and maybe the pendulum swings towards Chris Billam-Smith.
Absolutely, and here's the key factor here. Both guys were trained by the same guy. They were both friends, and now they are rivals, right? They were sparring partners. They've sparred hundreds of rounds together. I spoke to Shane McGuigan last week, and he was talking about those spars being very competitive. Yeah. you know, that no one really stamped their authority in those spars. They both had their successes. Lawrence Okolie, as we know, is good behind the jab, throws that long right hand, very heavy-handed. 19 fights, 19 wins, 14 KOs. But, you know, Billam-Smith knows how to bite on the gum shield. He knows how to come through those dark times. And that could be the telling factor here, you know, because Shane was saying that Billam-Smith is the type of guy that likes to be inside, likes to work on the inside. As we know, Okolie doesn't like fighting there, but he's good at tying his opponents up. It's about who stamps their authority early for me. And Billam-Smith you'd probably lean towards because of the momentum, the home advantage, and that could be crucial.
It's interesting because, you know, you'd probably say a year ago, the pendulum would have swung the other way and you'd definitely favour Lawrence Okolie considering the momentum he had. Chris Billam has blemishes on his record, or a blemish on his record, but it's at the toughest top level. And even that was super duper tight, you know, but his fight with Rivalry could have gone either way. I was there. Chris can't really be hurt. We've never really seen him have to hold himself together. He keeps his shape very well. He's got a really good chin, really good engine. It is going to be a very tough fight. But when I spoke to Lawrence Okolie, he said that he felt like that Chris's will to win was a flaw.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to decipher that in my head, whether he means it's too much of a will to win, or whether he feels like how do you decipher that?
I get exactly what he's saying there. What he's saying is his will to win, with the added home advantage, the crowd behind him getting reckless, going in there, no educated pressure, going in there, rolling the dice, taking a chance, and boom, walking onto a big right hand. That's what I think he's talking about there. His will to win, him getting too excited, going in there, not sticking to the game plan, not waiting for the opportunity. I think that's where Lawrence is hedging his bets on that one. You know, but Shane McGuigan, who knows both of them inside out, will say, listen, we can't take the chance. You've got to wait for that opportunity. Set the traps. Set the traps. Don't just go in there. Whoa.
Hey, we've got a stream going on here.
It's our own man, you know what I mean? So, set the traps. You know, and I think that's why Lawrence is hedging his bets. He's feeling that maybe the crowd, the excitement, and everything behind him, Chris will go in there, take the chance, and get made to pay, because Lawrence is good at that. Lawrence is patient. He likes to wait. He'll wait behind the jab. He'll sit there. He'll wait for his opponent, and boom, he'll shoot the shot. You know, so Chris has got to be very educated about what he's got to do.
It's a huge occasion for Chris, but he's done it twice before. In the last year, he's had 2 big fights here at the BIC. Maybe it weren't the Vitality, and it weren't 15,000 fans, but he's had this before where he's had to, and the last time out, it might have not seemed it, but he was against a dangerous opponent, and he did get stung.
Yeah, he did.
He did get stung, but he came through it and provided a knockout of the year contender.
Absolutely, and let's go back to last July when he boxed Isaac Chamberlain here in a fight of the year contender, where Chris Billam-Smith had to come through those tough times. He had to ask himself questions. He did feel sorry for himself at points of that fight, but he was able to turn that around. You know, that for me is all good development for this moment, the world title opportunity. You know, it doesn't get bigger than this for him. It won't get better than this for him. You know, 2 British guys boxing for the WBO cruiserweight title, so much on the line. We've got people like Richard Rivalry waiting in the wings. So the winner gets a big bonus of another all-British title fight if Rivalry decides to take that route. There's a lot on the line here, man, a huge lot on the line, and it's all about who can keep their head, who's got the game plan. Now, the reason you'd lean towards Billam-Smith again is because he's got McGuigan in his corner. And I also saw an interview with Lawrence Okolie where he was talking about that and saying Chris Billam-Smith was always the favourite. He took Chris from an amateur into the pros. He's been with him the whole time, and he felt that he always favoured Chris. So after the sparring sessions, they sat down and they talked about the technical side of things, what Chris had to do right, what he had to do wrong. So on that basis, I know the trainer can't help you when the bell rings, but on that basis, a fight like this can all be about game plan, who gets it right and who gets it wrong.
How much does this man here have to play?
I want to bring him in. Let's bring him in, Mr. SugarHill. Mr. SugarHill's
It's not as fun if I didn't surprise you.
I know. Well, listen, you come straight in the middle there. You come straight in the middle there.
There you go.
What do we got here?
We were just talking about,
mic check, 1, 2.
Obviously, the big fight, Chris Billam-Smith and Lawrence Okolie. Now, you've seen Lawrence lately, and you've developed him. What kind of game plan, without giving too much away, do you need to be able to be victorious?
Bang and get it over with. Just get it over with quick. Find the right shot, hit the man, and that's pretty much it. Lawrence is a big puncher, so yeah, I do believe in his power.
Chris has never been stopped in a professional ring. I don't know all the stories about sparring, but is there a belief there from Lawrence that he can hurt Chris and get him out of there?
Yeah, I believe both fighters believe they can hurt each other. I mean, they were best buddies at one point, sparring each other every day. So, it's just a fight. They both have to be competitive on the nights, and that's just part of the competitiveness. I'm sure when those guys were getting in the ring for sparring each other, they were getting competitive. Then after that, they would go, in the locker room and talk, chat it up, or go out and eat and, chill with the families and stuff. So it's just another part about boxing that I do love, because you got two people going at it, but they really actually have feelings for each other, but it's just something that they have to do.
Yes. Sugar, I want to ask you about the last performance against David. Like, we didn't see a vintage Lawrence Okolie there. There was things that he was still trying to work on. Timing was maybe a little bit out. He was getting it together towards the end of the fight. What are we expecting this time? Will we see a more rounded, a better performance from him? Because he's going to need that against Billam-Smith.
I think it's going to be a better performance myself from the things we worked on. And, everybody has a different learning curve, a different comprehension level on how well it takes to digest something in and go out and use it. So, yeah, he did show some signs of it. And honestly, I did say I gave him like a 7 for his last performance. And it was basically because he did everything that we worked on. He just didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
So now we're at the point where he's doing it enough. And, I've just been making sure that it's like a robot now. I'm on repeat. He's about tired of seeing me in the gym with the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, repetition, isn't it? And like you say, we saw glimpses of it, but we didn't see it all. But he's going to need this, isn't he, on Saturday night? These guys know each other well. They've sparred hundreds of rounds with each other. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. But Lawrence will be looking to bring something new to the table. Whereas Billam-Smith, he'll probably feel that Billam, he knows everything that Billam's done. He's worked with Shane. So it's all about seeing that development now with Lawrence under your watchful eye.
Yeah, I just want to see his, for my thing, of course I want to knock out, but I just really want for him to showcase the skills that he does have, to bring those out, and not just sometime, but more consistently. And that's what I'm looking for on the 27th. And of course, that comes with a knockout.
They know each other very, very well. They've spent too much time, perhaps, with each other inside the ring and outside of the ring. Do you think game plans are as important as people are making out, or do you think that once they're back in there, this will turn into what they both know about each other?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's a different level here. We're talking about the World Championship at the highest, where both of them have, been building their whole careers off of. And I don't want to see no sparring session. We've seen enough of that in some of the boxing shows where it was like a sparring session. But these two guys are going to be physical. They're going to be going at it, and I believe it's going to be another exciting fight. Chris always has exciting fights. Yep. So I don't think anybody's going to get in there and stink it up with Chris.
And Sugar, you'll know better than anyone that sparring is a totally different thing to competition. The smaller gloves, we know that Lawrence is very heavy-handed. One shot, boom, and the fight can be turned around in the blink of an eye. Whereas sparring, they're practicing more, they're working together more. They're not doing that, So going into this one, both guys, I think they've got the game plan. They think they're going to know the strengths and the weaknesses, but in reality, it's totally different. Fighting and sparring is two totally different things. And the viewers that are watching this may not understand that, but listen, I do.
Listen, both of them fighters may take what they both run and throw it out the window and just go at it.
Yeah.
And then me and Shane just sit in the corner and just give them water in between the rounds. Who knows?
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, it's a fight that we're looking forward to. The atmosphere here today is incredible. What are you expecting on Saturday night? 15,000 people screaming, but you're in the hostile corner. Are we expecting that? Are you prepared for that?
For me, I feel every corner is a hostile. I always put myself as the loser. It's one of those things just to keep me going and reaching further. So I do love the environment, though. I was here when Chris fought Chamberlain.
Yeah.
So it was so exciting. That was my first time. It was Ben Whitaker's pro debut.
Yeah.
So it was great weather like it is now. I guess just before we was on the sand over there, but now we're here on the pier, which is nice. Don't have to take off my shoes and my socks.
Are you all right with sand in your feet?
What about the volleyball game you guys had? What happened to that?
Listen, the volleyball game. Talking about the volleyball games, you involved in the volleyball game?
I didn't play. I watched on the sidelines.
It's not really my game because lack of height is not really good for me, you know.
But that's when they need you to dig.
Yeah.
That's the dig. When you get down there, you got to dig. You the
Yeah,
man
yeah,
that
yeah,
catch
sure.
all the low stuff.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to Saturday Night Sugar. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up with you again in the week.
Brilliant. Thank you. No problem.
We'll take that.
Let's do it again. I didn't like that one. Do it all over again. We'll do it all over. I seen y'all.
Yeah, you're
We
good.
didn't know.
You're
We
good.
didn't know what we were doing.
You're
We
good.
didn't know.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm not sure what that SugarHill knows he's talking about. Yeah,
Anyway,
what a
in the
great
meantime,
character. What a
great character, honestly, and he gives some of the best insight you can
Absolutely, absolutely.
get. Mace Reg in the ring now, a very popular boy again, another one. There's a few of them down here.
Absolutely. So I know Mace Rieg since he was boxing on the Queensbury Boxing, which is a Ross Minter's boxing, which was sort of like semi-pro.
Yeah.
And I watched him develop as a young kid on there. He was boxing men.
Yeah.
And he's got great foot movement, great boxing IQ, ring craft. All of that. He's an undefeated fighter, and he buzzes for these sort of moments. If you have a look, he's up there now. It's his dad that was in the corner with him now. Danny Rueg is up there as well somewhere.
Was his mum a boxer as well?
His mum still boxes. His mum's still a professional boxer.
Incredible.
And his dad was matched to box me.
Amazing.
He pulled out, but that's another story.
I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to
Sorry,
do
that's
it.
another story. But yeah, let's get
Look,
back to
he
Mace
looks
Rueg,
lovely and
undefeated
relaxed.
fighter.
Nice wide stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent boxing skills, like I say, great ring craft, great boxing IQ. We're just seeing him there going through the motions, soaking up. This is all about the development stage for these fighters. He's in his hometown, knows everybody here. He's got a big crowd of him on Saturday night as well. And he's the sort of kid that feeds off that. He oozes off that, you know. But anyway, listen, while we're on there, we've got Harry Redknapp with us now, joining us.
How we doing? I'm okay.
Good to see you, mate.
You okay?
Thanks for having us.
Good.
Every time we come to Bournemouth, this weather is insane. We was here last
Yes.
year, we was in July. We had Isaac Chamberlain versus Chris Billam-Smith, fight of year contender, absolutely phenomenal fight. This time we go one better, the weather's great.
Yeah.
We go to the Vitality Stadium, 15,000 people, sold out. What can we expect on Saturday night?
I expect a great fight, great atmosphere, Spence, you know. It's all there for a great night, isn't it? So weather's looking, everything's looking in place.
I mean, Harry, tell us about what you're expecting in that stadium. You know what the stadium's like better than anyone else. When it's packed, the Bournemouth fans are really, really vocal.
Yeah.
And they'll be behind Billam-Smith, and they may need to be against Lawrence Okolie.
Absolutely, the crowd will be right with him on Saturday, and you know, it's nice to have the crowd on your side, whether it's football, boxing, whatever. So he's got a bit of an advantage there with the home fans, but it's going to be a tough fight. Lawrence is a great fighter as well, so it's going to be a real good night. Can't wait.
I know you're a football man, but you know you're boxing as well. So how do you see it unfolding? How do you pick a winner?
Well, it's a tough one. I just think it's such an even fight, you know, and but they can both dig, they can both punch, can't they? So I think we'll see some fireworks. It could be a Hagler Tommy Hearns first round, I say, you know.
This is what I was going to say to you, Harry. Do you think this fight is like they both know each other inside out? They've sparred hundreds of rounds together, both under the watchful eye of Shane McGuigan.
Yeah.
Shane now is he's still with Chris
Yes.
Billam-Smith. Lawrence Okolie's moved on. He's now with SugarHill, which is a great addition to his camp. But do you think this could be one of those where the occasion, the atmosphere could get back to both of them? And like you say, Hagler Hearns, both roll the dice, go out there, boom, explosive.
It could well be like that, I think. Yeah, they could come out punching, and once one of them lands, it could all kick off, couldn't it? It could be. I'm hoping it goes a bit longer. You know, we want to see more than 1 or 2 rounds if we can.
Call me a skeptic, but I always see that when the fighters know each other really well, they're a little bit cagey for the first part of the fight. I'm not sure if the crowd, 15,000 in the Vitality, are going to allow that to happen. I think they are going to be raging.
Here I am with this, right? I think Okolie's cagey anyway. Okolie's safety first. He knows he's got the get out of jail shot. He's got that big right hand, but he likes to wait. He fills it with a jab. He'll be wanting to keep the space. Billam-Smith's the one that needs to close the space. He's good on the inside. That's where he'll effectively need to be. But I think for Chris, it's about educated pressure. Because if he's the one that makes the mistake, he could be made to pay. And I think that could be where the fight's won and lost here. Because Chris has got to keep his head. 15,000 screaming Bournemouth fans. if he loses it and the game plan goes out the window, he could be made to pay. So
Yeah.
I think the white fight could be won and lost with Billam-Smith. I think he's the one that has to keep the game plan together.
Spencer, I wouldn't argue with anything you say about boxing.
Thank God for
You
that.
know the
Thank
game.
God for that.
You know the game inside out, mate. You know, so whatever you see, I think,
Listen,
I
Harry,
think you're
if I
spot
ask
on.
you- If I ask you about the football results Saturday, I won't
Yeah,
argue with
no,
that.
no.
Yeah.
With regards to mindset, Lawrence has obviously signed very quickly after a lackluster performance against David Light, but he turned it around and within a week he signed to fight in Chris Billam-Smith's backyard against maybe everything, you know, when you consider he's going to have all the fans, he probably didn't need to take this fight, but he's taking it anyway. What does that say about Okolie's mindset and maybe his confidence? Does he feel like this is too soon for Chris Billam-Smith?
Well, listen, they know each other, don't they? They've sparred together probably plenty of times when they were. Would that be right? Would they have sparred?
Yeah, absolutely. Sparred
You know, when they were both in
let's
the same camp.
Let's flip that question and say, well, for Billam-Smith to take it in his hometown against Okolie with Shane in his corner, what does that tell you about his confidence? Because he could take it. So they both fancy it. They both fancy it.
That's why it's a good fight, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's a great fight, and
It's
we're
a fight to
looking
look forward to.
Saturday night. But Harry, listen, thanks so much for joining
Spence,
us.
great
We'll
to see
catch up with
you.
again in the
Good
week.
to see you guys.
Yeah,
Can't wait for
brilliant.
Saturday.
And let us know about them football results on Saturday.
Yeah.
I fancy a little.
Bournemouth win.
I fancy a little.
Bournemouth win.
You're on a roll.
All right,
Could be
brilliant.
interesting.
Brilliant. Well, listen, let's bring in.
Maybe teasers or tips of what we can expect from you on Saturday.
Flamboyant and sexy. That's it.
Oi.
I
This
love
is what-
that.
this is what
Those are
makes
two
Roy
good
love.
adjectives to use, ladies and gentlemen. Bournemouth's own Mace Ruin.
I'm not sure if Mace Ruega was talking about me then, but anyway, but let's get back to it. So we got Joe now. Joe's in now. Joe's coming in to join us.
Hello, Joe.
How are we, my man? You good?
Joe, how are we, mate?
Very well, a little bit hot.
So Joe, listen, I want to talk to you, mate, about your involvement with bringing boxing back to Bournemouth.
My small
with getting
element of
involved with
involvement,
Boxer. Yeah, you don't have to give too much away, but give a little something away, mate. How did it come about? How did you first get involved with Boxer and bringing these fights back to Bournemouth?
I think it's a lot of people's visions, not just mine, you know, but the reality of it was I wanted to put a world title fight on in the stadium. Chris is the local hero. It's what he's wanted from childhood, and, you know, within a year we managed to get it there by hook or by crook. We're here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's as simple
our
as that.
next
You've had-
fighter
yeah, go,
I
go.
feel like
for the
boxing's
open
been
workouts is
maybe
gonna be competing
a
Saturday
little bit
night in
lost
the Eliminator
on the
for
South
the
Coast,
English Super
and sometimes,
Welterweight Championship.
you know, areas
He
like
comes to us with
Portsmouth,
the perfect
Southampton, Bournemouth get
undefeated
forgotten
record
about.
from
and
Derby, England.
we lose you for the
Here's
major
Stanley
cities.
Standard.
We've got some big ticket sellers here. You've got Lee Cutler, you've got Mace, you've got big boys here.
Joe Pigford.
Joe Pigford, obviously. I mean, and a huge puncher.
Listen,
What-
I want to talk about that fight actually with
What
Joe
a fight
Pigford.
that's going to be.
That could be fight of the night, right?
I'll
I mean,
be honest-
Sam Eggington is a phenomenal fighter, former IBO champion who lost his title just recently, actually, out in Australia. He's back now. He's had a win, and he's looking to get back on that winning run. A lot of people don't know about Eggington, right? Is he's had 41 fights now. He's lost 8 of those, but he's only 29 years of age. Can you believe that? It feels like he's been around forever.
Yep.
And this is like a coming of age fight for Joe Pigford, isn't it? Like 20-0, 19 KOs, never boxed anywhere near this sort of standard.
It is,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's definitely going to be a challenge where his power's tested.
Yep.
You know, I'm obviously in the Pigford camp, so the reality of it for me is I think it's inevitable I see the win. But Eggington is a warrior, isn't he? So, truthfully, I think it might still fight of the night.
I mean, I know some guys that have sparred Pickford, and they say they don't know what's in his hands, but he hits you, and it's a different kind of feeling.
Yeah, I've never shared the ring with him, but I've obviously been around quite a few people that have, and they genuinely tell me it's not very pleasant. So,
Yeah, he's got that freakish power really where you look at him, some people you used to look at people like Eric Morales,
Yes.
Marco Tony Barrera, and you look at them and you think
Kind of wiry bodies,
like
yeah.
wiry bodies, don't look like much,
Yep.
but they hit like mules, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They hit like they're just so heavy, and he's one of those characters in here. Like we've seen him a few times now.
He is one of those characters, and also, you know, he's got the personality that sort of goes with that. He's very dry, he's sharp.
Yeah.
There's no small talk with him. He comes in, gets the job done, and that's it. You know, and we'll see where it's at. I think it's going to be a tremendous fight.
19 KOs out of 20 wins. It's not a fluke. That is, you know, crazy numbers, Golovkin numbers.
Listen, that could be fight of the night, but let's just talk about this guy that's in the ring now. Another local lad, Lee Cutler. Another big opportunity here.
That's not Lee.
That's not Lee.
Sorry,
That's not Lee in the ring
I
now.
thought that was Lee. No.
That's Dan.
Yeah.
He's another local lad, or local-ish, local
Yeah.
enough. No?
It's the lad Lee's fighting, is it not?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's the lad Lee's fighting, yeah.
Well, he's gonna do him, isn't he?
Well, listen.
And do you know what? I'll be totally honest with you, fellas. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous coming on here because I'm not the boxing man. I'm the finance man in the background that's maybe put it together.
you're doing
But I'll
better
be
than we
honest,
are.
you just made my interview.
No, do you know what?
You've absolutely made my
No,
interview.
because I was speaking to Lee over there, and I looked round when we were chatting. I looked up, I thought he's in the ring. So he was ready to go. There he is over there. Yeah, there he is over there.
Looking smooth.
But this is what he is. Yeah, but no, I want to talk about Lee. And his position here, you know, and his involvement in this Bournemouth boxing, big character.
Great character, great character.
He's only had that one loss on his record. Always in exciting fights. Tell us a little bit about Lee.
Do you know the thing with
one
Lee?
loss to Brad Ray, he got caught in the first round, didn't he?
He got caught in the first round. You know, there was a lot of people behind the scenes that didn't really want to take the fight. It was a desperate move that he probably shouldn't have done. I'm not taking away the credit from Brad Ray. You know, remarkable performance. He did the job. But Lee's an absolute athlete. You know, there's one thing that Chris and Lee both share. Lee's an absolute monster in the gym.
Yeah.
Let's bring in Mace as well. I think Mace wants to come in.
Yeah. Bring him
What's
in.
happening, mate?
Mace, how are you, mate?
How are you?
Good.
Good?
You can share this microphone, yeah. All good. Listen, looking sharp up there. Home turf again. How good is it to be boxing here in Bournemouth? And how comes we get such good weather all the time? It's insane.
Mate, I don't know. Honestly, it feels amazing. Just everyone's help to get on again and show my skills off. I cannot wait for Saturday night. I've got something pending. I've been looking forward to this one, trust me.
You always look smooth, ready, composed. Even in the interviews after, you want to give them a bit of je ne sais quoi. What can we see in the ring on Saturday night? I feel like you've got something planned.
Maturity, that's the main thing. That's the key factor in this. A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. An angry fighter is a weak fighter. I'm flamboyant, I'm different, and I'm ready to shine. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, you're a showman, right? And that's what we see. We see a little bit of it up there. What are we going to expect on Saturday night? 15,000 people in that stadium is going to be absolutely insane. You know, it's like, you know, how many times has that come around? Bournemouth, big time boxing now back in Bournemouth. Joe's a big part of bringing big time boxing back. We got to go back to the days of like Freddie Mills before you had like, you know, from any sort of fighter of that, any sort of caliber to come from here. This is a huge changing of the times, and we can expect more
We're here to
shows
stay,
like
aren't
this.
we, mate?
How
We're here
big
to
is
stay.
it for you?
We ain't coming to take part, we're coming to take over. Do you know what I mean?
We're here to
And
stay.
Massive thank you to Chris Billam-Smith. He's led the way for us. Do you know what I mean? Because without him, boxer coming down here, massive thank you to him for bringing
Exactly
it home.
that.
So
Chris is a local legend, always will be. You know, and truthfully, I think with the town behind him, I think he nicks a win as well.
Mace, I'll come to and ask you that final question then. We know what's going to happen in your fight. What do you think happens in the top of the bill?
God, do you know what? It's a difficult one. Do you know what I mean? Because they're stable mates as well, so
Put your neck on the line,
makes it
son.
even
Put your
harder.
neck on the line. Come on, what's going on?
Chris
need a decision.
Billam-Smith, I'm with my home man. Do you know what I mean? I've
Points.
got to be. I'm backing my boys. Do you know what I mean? Chris Billam-Smith all the way.
100% Chris
Save
Billam-Smith.
money. I think that's probably where the safe money is.
Do you know what? It's like you got to go with momentum, performances. You only go by the last performance, etc., etc. Home advantage could be crucial in this one. Billam-Smith
play a
probably
massive-
starts a slight favourite.
It's going to play a massive role. It's like me, you know. I've sold a lot of tickets as well, so I'm just going to thrive off it. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I
What
love
sort
it.
of crowd have you brought down here as well? I mean, I know that they're all going to be there for
They're
you.
all
so
going to
they
be
know
there,
them
ain't they? Do you know what I mean?
anyway.
50,000 of them.
What
Do you know
sort
what
of
I mean?
tickets have you sold personally?
I've done a few tickets, that's all I'm going to say. I've done a few tickets, so thanks to everyone that bought the tickets as well. And they're just going to see a demolition job. That's what's going to happen Saturday night. Trust me.
I like it. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
Brilliant.
Thanks for joining us, Mace.
Yeah, mate, well done.
How's the
mate.
weight?
Brilliant.
Weight all good? Coming off nicely? Nice and tight.
Thank you.
Right, Joe, we'll pull you back in when we get Lee Cutler up, yeah?
Nice one, Joe. Thank you, mate.
Ain't that Lee?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
That's his
wasn't
up
it? Brilliant, yeah, it's
Up
his opponent.
Cole
Yeah,
Greaves in the
exactly.
corner.
I saw Lee warming up, that's what it was. I caught him
Yeah.
out the corner of the eye, but yeah, Cole Greaves always got a good stable of
Always,
fighters with him.
always
They
does.
come and they come to win, to be fair. You know, it's good to see Cole back down here again as well.
Oh, he looks quite, you know, big for the weight.
He does, mate.
Lee's quite, you know, a little bit more stocky.
Yeah, but you know what it is though with Lee? You know Lee comes to fight. That's the where he made that mistake with Brad Ray. He went out there, he rolled the dice. Brad Ray's very heavy-handed,
Yes.
and he caught him. And yeah, and that's what happens in boxing, you know. But he would have learned from that. That's all part of the development stage.
Yeah.
We saw him last time out, Lee Cutler, and he looked good. Took his time. We showed more patience. Come away with a good victory.
Yep.
And he's expecting the same here. You know, he knows what he's in against. He's in against a tough opponent. But he said to me, Spence, I'm going to put on a show. You know, but it's going to be an educated show. I'm not going to take any chances.
Yeah, I mean, just having a look at his opponent, nice and tidy, a rangy southpaw. What you don't want to do is put your foot down too quickly and get caught with something silly.
Yeah, no, it's all about experience, taking your time, and yeah, that's exactly what we're expecting him to do. Here we go, it's Lee now.
Lee right now.
How are you, mate?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Sorry, Lee, I mistaked you for being up there earlier on. Yeah, I caught you out the corner. Yeah,
you are way better looking.
But listen, let's give you that, mate, and yeah, let's talk about the big fight Saturday night. What does this occasion mean for you?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Look at just how many people it brings out. The sun, I swear you guys keep bringing the sun out every time you come down here. Only this summer.
Like this every day, honestly. Even when we came here in December, it was like
yeah, the sun was shining, mate. I mean, it's a bit cold, admittedly, but I was going to go in the water actually in December. We went in July, didn't we? I don't know if you did.
The weather has been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then this week, we've just been so lucky.
Bank holiday weekend.
So fortunate.
Big fight.
I've just come back from Marbella. It's better than it was a mob.
That's it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about your fight on Saturday night. Let's talk about your preparation for the fight. How's it all gone? You look in phenomenal shape.
I'm in the best shape now. I know everyone says it. But I'm in unbelievable shape. I've got an undefeated opponent that doesn't know how to lose. In front of my home fans, I've got the pressure on me, but I'm here to win this.
What are you expecting from your opponent? He's a cagey, unbeaten southpaw.
I don't know much about him, to be honest. He's only boxed journeyman. He hasn't boxed anyone, so you can't read too much into that. He's won all his fights easily, so it's all on Saturday night. It's a risk. It's a massive risk because he could be a superstar. He couldn't be a superstar. Do you know what I mean? But I believe I'm the next superstar. I'm the next guy to keep bringing these big shows down into Bournemouth. I know you guys at Boxer would love to keep coming down here, and I'm the guy to do that. You need to get through Saturday night.
Absolutely. Listen, let's go to your only defeat on your record. Was a first round loss to Brad Ray. Them sort of fights where you went in there, you rolled the dice a bit too early, you get caught, and you know when you get caught in this game, you can stay caught, and that's what happened on that night. You seem to have learned from that. You seem to have developed more. I've seen you in your last couple of fights. You've looked more composed, and you know when to take the opportunity, etc. Sometimes a loss can be the best thing that happens to a fighter.
I think we've got to get Lee in the ring. I think Lee's
I think I'm being called in. But yeah, like you said, I'm definitely from the loss I've learned. Do you know what I mean? If I didn't learn then, it would have been this fight or the fights previous.
If you've learned, mate, go and show us what you've learned. We need to see it. Let's go. Lee, we'll come and speak to you after, mate. Yeah. Yes, boys. How are we, mate?
Good.
Yeah, really good. Stanley, how are you, mate? You good? Yeah, good, mate. Jump in there.
Looking good up there. Obviously, you're the away fighter against Lee Cutler. But you're unbeaten. You're southpaw, you're cagey, you're rangy. What kind of fight are you expecting?
Yeah, I think Lee's obviously going to come to win in front of his home fans. Obviously, he's got some fans here today as well. But no, obviously, it was hard for me locally to get fights on the small hall. Nobody wanted to take the fight against me. So if I've got to travel 4 hours to get the job done, then that's what I intend on doing, and that's why I'm here.
Listen, there's a lot of unknowns about you going into this one, because although you've got an undefeated record, you've never really sort of boxed at that sort of level. This is a step up for you, as it is a step up for him as well. So there's a lot of unknowns going into this contest, which makes it so exciting, and it's a great opportunity for you on a huge platform to showcase your skills.
Definitely. Obviously, when this fight first came about, was just massive to know that it was going to be on Sky Sports and that platform, and obviously, as I'm sure Lee is as well, both very up for it, excited with the platform that we're allowed to box on, and yeah, like you say, just going to be massive performance from myself, and this is where I announce myself and make it on the big time. Yeah.
Carl, you always have a good stable. How good is he? What happens in this fight?
Stan's a very good fighter, like you say. It's hard bringing kids through on small hall. They're always craving for that big opportunity. I mean, he's 10-0, he's been boxing on all my shows. He's been dying for an opportunity like this. He's been on it. Mikado won an opportunity, want to fight on the big stage. I put his name forward for the English Eliminator, well, just to fight for the English title. They come back with this fight, which I never expected, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I know Lee well from when I was matching for Sky, and for boxing
there now. looks nice and smooth, but straight away you can see the height difference because Mace has that wide stance that maybe brings you a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Could be a cat and mouse fight, this.
Absolutely, yeah. Looks nice and relaxed. Enjoying the occasion.
Well, at least we brought the sun out.
Absolutely.
Everyone's saying the weather was no good.
Listen, the sun is good. The sun is good. Let me use this microphone. There you go.
Spence,
yeah, listen.
Let's talk about the bad news for this card. The fight that everybody was anticipating that we don't get in the end.
Yeah.
Isaac Chamberlain and Mikel Lawal.
What a shame we didn't get that fight. You know, Mikel Lawal unfortunately fell sick. He had to withdraw from the card, and it was, you know, it was a fight that I was looking forward to. Those unknowns again. Chamberlain, we know what he's all about.
Yeah.
We know he's tough. He can dig deep, mate. He is tough. Takes a shot. Knows how to put himself through as well. Lawal, very heavy-handed. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but hopefully we do get it down the line.
We have to have it, you know. I mean, they've been going back and forth. We saw the needle at the press conference. It's a fight now that, you know, if anyone knows anything about it or saw anything, there's an appetite for it. You know, I was gutted when we lost that fight. You know, hopefully we still get a decent opponent, and I don't know too much about who's being brought in.
Well, I don't know. I think he's doing a 6-rounder, but he was sort of. I think he was hovering around, wait to see if anything happened to any of the main event, and he was there, ready, fit, and ready to jump in the opportunity. But he's still going to perform on the show in here, which I'm pleased for him for, ticking over before him and Lawal get made again. I tell you what, I want to talk about another kid that's on the bill actually. While we're here and we're killing a bit of time, we've got a kid called Razor Ali boxing on the undercard, a guy that I manage. 7-0, looking to go 8-0. Looking to move, but he's in against a tough Brazilian who comes with a record of four wins and 3 losses, but that doesn't really tell the story. You know, he's a tough kid who's been in with some very good opponents, lost to a couple of Olympians, but pushed them all the way. Very, very tough. But Razor Ali, his story has been incredible. You know,
what a story, honestly.
Absolutely insane story. Coming from Iran, you know, coming for refuge, sleeping rough on the streets. Family disaster with his brothers, losing his brothers and sisters, etc. You have to follow this guy's story. I don't really want to give it all on here because you'll hear about it in due time, but incredibly inspirational story, and he gets his opportunity on this big stage as well. He's boxing this tough Brazilian, and that's another great fight, of course, in the featherweight division.
Yeah, we saw Razor. Was it in Wembley last? We saw him.
Yeah, we saw him on the last show.
You know, I've always liked him. I've known him for a long time as well. What a fighter! Really good. He's a hustler by nature. In the ring, he just went to the gym one day, and all of a sudden, you know, he seems like one of those characters that seems to be able to do anything he puts his mind to.
Do you know what it is? It's about, like, you know, if you knew his story, like he lost a lot of brothers and sisters in a car crash. He was involved in that car crash. He was the only survivor. He was taken to hospital. He was kidnapped from the hospital. He was then taken away. The story is insane, right? And anyway, he made his way to England. He was sleeping rough on the streets on Liverpool Street. Was taken to West Ham Boxing Club at the age of 19. He's now 26, and here he is, 7-0. What an opportunity! What a lovely story.
You know? When you've come from that kind of background and that kind of story, you appreciate everything.
Boxing's the easy part. Boxing's the easy part. But let's listen here. Local lad Lee Cutler. Let's see what he's got to say about this opportunity.
The weather's come out for us again this year, like it did last summer, and I've got a good opponent to try and show it against, and I will do. And I've been doing it all in the gym. It's just on fight night now, and I can't wait.
Now, an eliminator for the English title. Why don't you go ahead, look at that camera right here on Sky Sports. You're going to have a lot of new fans that are joining you, that are going to be on your side on Saturday. Anything that they can expect, anything that the fans can expect from you?
Explosive, and the longer it goes, the better it becomes for me.
I like the sound of that, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Bournemouth's own Lee Chaos Cutler.
Interesting there from Lee Cutler.
Yeah.
Suggesting that the longer it goes, the better it is for him.
Listen,
what does he know?
Well, listen, it's about that development stage. Like I say, he went in there against Brad Ray, who's a very heavy-handed fighter from Manchester. was caught by Brad Ray, and he's obviously learned from that, and he's talking about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, let's go.
Interesting. I'm just trying to decipher that last line. The longer it goes for you, you think that you get stronger as the fight goes on, and potentially he gets weaker.
100%. It's not about him. It's really not about. It's really not about the opponent, and that is just for me. I don't know how hard he's trained. I don't care about that. I just know that I get stronger as the fight goes on. I've knocked a lot of people out early in my fights, so I can't wait to show it over the distance as well. I've got power from round 1 to round 10.
See, Lee, what that tells me there, the words you said there, the way that you sort of conducted yourself there, it tells me that you've learned from them. Like I say, when you get a loss on your record, that can be all about. It's not how you lose, it's how you come back. You've come back very well. You've learned a lot from it, and the way you're speaking there tells me exactly that. So listen, I'll wait for my opportunity. If it comes early, then great. If it don't, I'll get better.
Exactly. The longer I'm in that ring, the more you're going to see of Lee Cutler, and I'm going to be a number one super welterweight in the country. I'm inside the top 10 now. It's now to show I'm number 1.
10-rounder. Do you feel like it's maybe a bit too soon for him? Obviously, we don't really know what level he's been at, but when you're on the small halls, it's difficult.
Anything after that 6th round is done.
I love it.
Yeah, Lee. Brilliant, mate. Well done. Brilliant, mate.
Now this is a fight. Boy, oh boy.
This could be fight of the night. Sam Eggington, the veteran, only 29 years of age. Can you believe that? 45 fights in. Beaten great names like Paulie Malignaggi. He's been around the block, man. He's taken defeat, he goes away, he comes back, he rebuilds. He won the IBO cruiserweight, won the IBO super welterweight title, went over to Australia, lost it, come back, rebuilt again.
He's a dog.
This guy is a dog, man.
He's a dog.
And he's gone into the Lion's Den against Pigford, who's 19-0. Or 20-0 with 19 KOs.
I feel like that's where he feels most comfortable, in the Lion's Den. All the stories I hear about him in sparring and everything, he only knows one way. Bite down and just go through the fire. Throw shots to land shots, take shots to land shots. He's never in a boring fight.
Listen, there's something like sort of kinky about that, isn't there? Where he likes being in those tough fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he likes biting down on his gum shield. He's one of those rare breeds that goes like. They enjoy getting hit.
Yes.
It's like he thinks I've got to earn my money here because he can make an easy fight hard and he make a hard fight hard. You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys. He's value for money, and he showed in his last couple of performances since actually losing that IBO title. There's still a lot of fight left in him.
Well, there's loads, and a lot of people have mentioned how they feel like he's getting better as an actual boxer. Maybe the penny's beginning to drop with certain things, and sometimes you don't have to go to war 100% of the time. Sometimes you could do it for 99%. And people who are in this gym are telling me that he's beginning to develop little nuances, little things that will give him the advantage, and he's not up against the most skillful fighter in the world in Pigford, but my oh my is he up against a fighter that if you make a mistake and you're there when you shouldn't be there, you're going to be made to pay.
Pigford's got that freakish power. Like I said to you, when you look at him, you don't think that he looks like anything in particularly good, doesn't look particularly strong, but he just carries dynamite in his fists. Sam Eggington is the sort of fighter that we know that don't mind to take one, to land one. That will be the wrong tactics against Pigford.
Definitely.
Like you say, he's got to be more refined, he's got to take his time more, he's got to use that experience. I'm hoping he takes that on board, going in there, because like you say, I think he's, although he's in the twilight of his career, he seems to be in the best stage of his career. He's very unlucky out in Australia, lost a split decision. He felt he was unfortunate to lose that title. He wants to get back there. But he seems to have got better with age. He's like a fine wine.
Well, I mean, it's maybe because he's coming into his physical prime. He's only 29. I feel like he's had 1,000 fights. He's been around for 1,000 years. But he is a veteran, and he has done it on every stage, and he's done it against everyone. And he's never in a dull fight. In many ways, we know what we're going to get from Sam Eggington. The big question here is, are you going to be there for Pigford to hit you? And if you do get hit, he's shown how good his chin is and how brave he can be, and how he tucks up and takes shots and walks forward. Can you afford to have that kind of game plan against somebody like Pigford?
Well, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it and say, can Pigford deal with what Eggington's going to put to the table, right? Because what if Eggington takes a shot, boom, does the old Elvis dance, and then comes back.
Yeah.
Like he does.
Yes.
You know, and he comes back and he starts doing.
Yeah.
What's Pigford going to be like then? You know, because like I say, this is a whole new level for Pigford. So this is a whole new level for Pigford.
All I know is when Egerton gets going and he gets his momentum, it's very hard to put him back into reverse.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go. Sub me out.
I'm gonna take over here.
Hello, ma.
What a substitution.
Mate,
What's up, man?
really, I like
You
this
wearing a
shirt,
sweatsuit,
honestly.
man? It's too hot out here.
Mate, I'll be honest, the weather forecast, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect it. I just whacked on a tracksuit,
I feel like I'm
down
in
here.
San Diego, California right
Could be
now.
anywhere.
This is
It
not
could be
England.
anywhere.
But
Bro,
right-
we've got, you know, what a card we've got. When we're looking at this fight in particular, Egerton, Pigford, all the ingredients for fight of the night, if we're honest.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. It's weird when we did Bournemouth last year, right? We knew that we would progress towards bigger cards.
Yes.
I just don't know if we expected it to happen so quickly.
I think I did.
I mean, maybe, but you know more than I do.
I just thought
I'm new here.
You know, when you see Billam-Smith and his trajectory and what he did in the last 12 months in Bournemouth in his last two performances, then when you look at he needed a world title shot next. He was willing to fight Rivalry in December. That didn't happen. He got knockout of the year after being stunned.
Well, what I was going to say, because, I mean, you asked about Egerton Pigford. This is a support fight. This, on a lot of cards, could be a main event for a vacant title, but because of how Billam-Smith has progressed, because of how Bournemouth has kind of adopted boxing that we've given them, this is
And that's value for money.
Fight.
Listen, another reminder, there are a few remaining tickets. Get to Boxer.com now and buy them. They will
If
be
you
gone.
get there quick enough, you can actually sit with Savage
Listen,
Dan.
you can sit here with me and you can watch Mo from the front seat. But listen, I'll be honest, by the time you want to look for them on Friday and Saturday, they will be gone.
Yeah, it's
hit the
too
button
late.
now, buy
Too
it.
late, yeah.
I mean, look, this is a fight that could top a bill.
Absolutely.
We lost a fight as well that could have topped a bill in Isaac Chamberlain against Mikel Lawal. And then we have top of the bill.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Now,
unbelievable.
I'm not one for predictions, ever. I usually get them wrong. I'm usually close, but close is never quite it. Billam-Smith, 15,000 people, the Vitality Stadium. It doesn't get much bigger in terms of pressure, in terms of what he'll fight in front of, and in front of, you know, a moment, and, you know, something for his bucket list, you know, as a kid.
And I think that's going to be the equalizer. Because I think a lot of people on paper would, I mean, look, I believe Okolie's the #1 cruiserweight in the world right now, right? So a lot of people on paper would put him ahead. But I think when you factor in the fact that we're in Bournemouth, we're in Billam-Smith's home, the Bournemouth fans are crazy.
Momentum as well.
I love it. I love it. He's got momentum. He had fight of the year last year, had knockout of the year last year, and now he's coming into a world title fight at his home. I mean, you can't beat that, man. So I don't make predictions either, but I think that's going to be the equalizer.
It says a lot about the mindset of Lawrence Okolie, of course.
Of course, yeah.
To take the fight like that, you know, he was willing to. I mean, he just come off a performance. We're going to swap you back out so you can
I'm
get
going
back
to
in the
sub
ring.
out. I'm going to give this back to Spencer.
Spence back. Spence, where'd you go?
Oh, man, let me take over, Big Mo. Let me take over. Come on, you've done your bit. You've done your bit. He's not cheap, you know. He's not cheap.
Nah, he's
That's
not
cost
cheap
us a
at
lot
all.
of
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's
cost us a lot of money.
We're seeing Egerton looking nice and smooth in there.
Sam.
Savage, a man after
How
my
are you,
own
mate?
heart.
Listen.
How you doing, bro?
Listen, Sam. Just want to ask you one question, mate. You've been here, seen it, done it. You've been in the Lions Den before. What can we expect on Saturday night?
Same as usual. You know, I got a bit of meat between my teeth, you know, because I was meant to be on the Birmingham bill. And from what I've heard, your man didn't want to come to Birmingham, so it was moved. So yeah, I'm happy to come here. You know, I've sold no tickets. I've come alone. I've come to do a job and go home happy.
Listen, the tickets sell themselves when they know Sam Egerton's on the bill because you put bums on seats, mate. Look, you was very unfortunate to lose your title out in Australia. You come back, you've had wins. Can't believe you're only 29. You're 40-odd fights in. It seems like you've been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Australia thing was you know, a big jump, something massively new to me. I'm gutted about it. Don't get me wrong, but it is what it is now. We're here. I'm still going. I feel fit. I feel strong. I feel full of energy. Yeah, I'm just ready to go. Generally, I'm excited about it. If you ask anyone in camp, I'm generally excited about this fight. I love the fact that he's, you know, he's 20 and 0. I love the fact that he's got 19 knockouts. I love the fact we moved from Birmingham to here.
Yeah.
All that shit. All that shit.
I mean, look, he's a nutter. You know this.
And I don't say shit for no reason. You know, if I'm tired, I'll tell you, because it's been a hard camp. But I do feel full of energy. You know, everything's gone well. Yeah, it's gone good.
Does that kind of stuff excite you? The fact that, you know, Pickford does have such a high knockout ratio. The fact that he is in some ways crude, but he gets the job done every single time.
Don't get me wrong. Look, he can punch. You don't matter if you're not 19 people out in the car park. You know, you can punch it. It makes no. It is what it is. But I don't believe he's knocked out anyone. You know, of the caliber of fought like, for the last 5-6 years. But saying that, you know, we'll find out on Saturday.
Brilliant.
And I'm excited.
Brilliant. Well, Sam, looking forward to that on Saturday. We'll catch up with you again in a minute, mate. But there you go, a little bit of.
Look, he looks ready. He said he was happy that he got moved.
Listen, I told you he's one of them rare breeds, mate. He's one of them rare breeds. It's kinky. That shit's.
Yeah, he just fancies it.
That stuff
he fancies it every single time. It's a breath of fresh air, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get fighters like that are just so willing to get in and fight absolutely anyone.
Absolutely.
Do a job and go home happy.
Well, I mean, going home happy.
But that's what it is, isn't it? He's talking about that there. He talked about that with us, about doing a job, just going home. He loves coming up. He loves coming into the Lions Den, boxing against the odds. That's what brings out the best in him. That's what I'm expecting actually on Saturday night.
I'm expecting the best of both. I think anything less than the best performance from either of them, and I think they lose. I really do.
I agree. I totally agree.
I think Pickford, you know, if he takes us after the ball and maybe looks for his right hand a little bit too much, he'll find himself well behind on the scorecards because Eggington's smarter and more. He's longer in the tooth than people realise.
But Eggington's got that relentless pressure that, you know, Pickford may find himself in the trenches.
I wonder if that's how you would, if you're Eggington, if that's how you would fight Pickford. If you know he wants to come forward and land his right hand, make him go backwards and land his right hand. Let's see if you can find it when he's going backwards.
Absolutely, you know, there's a lot of ways that Eggington can approach this fight because he's got the experience.
Yes.
You know, he knows that he's in with a big puncher, so he may take his time, but he'll know when the time is right. And that's what it is about Eggington. Or he might be in one of those days where he wakes up and thinks, I'm going to roll the dice.
Yes.
I'm going to see what he's got.
He usually gets there in a fight, you know, after he's had a look and he's had a feel, and he feels that actually there's nothing here to worry about. As long as I can catch it just before, as long as I can see it just before it lands, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
And he'll roll the dice. I really think he does.
Great fight. One that could be fight of the night.
Yeah. Honestly, we've got around 3 or 4 fight of the night contenders, or it would have had 3 if it wasn't for one falling by the wayside. But he looks relaxed. He looks ready. A nice long camp.
Yeah, he's always ready.
He's
always ready. Like I say, like he likes going into the other guy's backyard. There's you know, there's something like nuts about that. But there's something, that's the sort of breed of fighter he is. He likes being on the road.
He's got a similar character to Pickford.
Yeah.
They just want to get on with it.
Very relaxed.
I just want to get on with it. I just want to fight. I don't want to speak to you, Spence. I don't want to speak to you, Dan.
Don't care about all the razzmatazz. All the showbiz.
I just want to fight.
The other half of that title fight for the vacant WBA International Super Welterweight Champion from Southampton, England. Here is the undefeated Joe Pickford.
Joe Pickford getting into the ring now. The English Golovkin, I have called him before. The record is not a fluke. It's not a joke. Everybody that's been in there with him has said he hits like a mule.
Do you know what it is? Like when people talk about, well, you look at his record, there's no real big names on there. Listen, I've been in that ring, mate, and I know how hard it is to get rid of some journeyman, and to get 19 out of 20 wins inside the distance takes some doing. But look, we had a little catch up with Sam. Let's bring him in now. He's down here. Sam, let's grab that for you, mate. So yeah, it was good to have a little chat with you in there, mate, about, you know, the fight on Saturday night, going into Joe Pickford's backyard. He's up there now. He's having a little warm up. You've done your warm up. Tell us exactly what you were expecting on Saturday night. You know, the atmosphere, everything about it, Sam.
Like I said in there, we know we can punch. It's a dangerous fight. You know, if you knock people out in the ring or, you know, in a pub car park, if you knock 90 of them out, you can punch. So it's dangerous, but I relish the fact that, you know, it was moved from Birmingham. to his backyard. I relish the fact that he's 20-0 with 19 knockouts. You know, I love the fact that I've sold 0 tickets. I've come along to do a job and I want to do it and go home happy. So yeah, it is what it is. It's how we started, and you know,
Yeah, that's what we said about that. Is look, listen, it's very much like you, Joe. As in, like, there's no showbiz, no razzmatazz. You just want to come in there, do your job, go home to the family, and chill.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, there's no bad blood. I don't believe, you know, he said anything bad about me, and I definitely ain't said anything bad about him. It's just, you know, some people go about the work, and some people have a lot to say. You know, I think between me and Joe, we go about our work quite quietly and confidently.
Yeah. Styles make fights. We've seen him look good, but maybe the opponents have allowed him to look good as well. He wants to come forward, throw his right hand, get someone out of there. Is your game plan to push him back?
I mean, we'll have to see. I'm not Mayweather though, I think that's obvious. So we'll have to wait and see on the night, but you know, I'm confident, you know, I'm genuinely excited, I'm confident, and I ain't drove here for no reason.
In camp, are you know, trying to build the best version of you, or are you really having a look at where you can exploit him? Do you just feel like the best version of you beats the best version of him?
I've done that from start to finish. I'll go off what I'm good at, I'll train for me, and then when we get in the ring, they have to go to plan A, B and C because of what I'm doing. If you start trying to go through what they're doing and go to plan A and plan B, you start, you know, some people can, some people can't. For me, I work out what I'm going to do, and then they can go about their business the way they want to.
Simple.
Sam, look, you've been around a long time now. You've been in with a lot of good fighters, ex-world champions, beat ex-world champions, etc., etc. You're now 40-odd fights in. I know you're only 29 years of age, which is absolutely insane. But where do you feel you're at in your career? Do you still feel like you're very much on the learning curve? Do you still feel like you're improving? I mean, where do you feel like you're at in your career right now?
I feel like I'm improving. I do feel like I'm improving. I'm starting to, like I say, early on in my career, it was all about making weight, you know, at welterweight. And since I've gone up a weight, and I'm generally learning stuff, and you know, I'm coming in, you know, 28, 29, 30. I'm coming into my prime, and I can feel that in the gym. So, you know, we have to see how the fights go, but yeah, I feel good. I feel as good as I ever have. So, I mean, yeah, there's no crazy decisions coming out of me just yet.
So if he comes out firing on Saturday night, and we know what Sam Egginson's like, we know he likes to get drawn into a fight, we know you like a fight. You know, in fact, you're one of those rare breed that likes getting hit, you like to take one to give one. But what I'm saying is, if that goes off like that, you're willing to stand there, trade and roll the dice?
We'll have to see on the night, but I think so. I think so. I mean, you know, I don't want to badmouth Joe, but again, the kids he has been knocking out have been hit. And I've got to wonder when they're on the floor, thinking, is there any half a reason to get up? Do you know what I mean? So, if he hits me and I go down, which, you know, he's not on the plan, I've got every reason to get up, and I don't feel like a lot of his opposition has. They've sort of like thought, it's a 28-day, all right.
But the difference is you've done that before, you've been there before, he hasn't.
Exactly.
So it's not a surprise for you.
Nah.
You go down, you go, bang, I've been it.
Yeah.
I know how to like take my time. There's not ego getting in the way of me getting up and my legs are still gone. You've got that experience, that could be crucial in this fight.
I mean, like I say, we'll have to wait and see on the night, but again, I'm confident, I'm excited, and I've done everything I can.
Brilliant, Sam. Best of luck for Saturday night, mate. We'll catch up with you in the week. Definitely, and could be fighting the night this one. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, you must have a room full of trophies of Fight of the Years. Brilliant, mate. Sam, best of luck. Well done.
Right, big one with the gloves on.
So this is who Sam is up against. Very heavy-handed guy.
I mean, it's honest. It's just strange how the body works, isn't it? Because it doesn't look.
No.
It doesn't look like he's doing anything.
It don't. I mean,
look,
do you think it looks like? You know what I mean? It don't. It don't.
And all of a sudden, he cracks you in. Yeah.
But there's just power there.
Yeah.
I mean, you go, yeah, I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm standing down here now. I'm getting in the mood. You know what I mean?
Why not?
Couple of rounds.
Yeah. And then you get in there, and it's
Yeah,
the harsh reality.
it changes. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's freakish. I'm intrigued to see how Joe attacks this fight. We know what we get from Sam Eggington. I wonder if he changes what he does.
Well, this is the unknowns, isn't it? Although that Joe's 20 fights in, there's a lot of unknowns about levels.
I think
you know, stepping up levels.
Fight, he was forced to. I mean, I feel like he was guilty of falling in love with his right hand a little bit.
That's a
and
fair,
because
that's
of
fair
it,
comment.
he couldn't find it. And I think maybe that was the perfect time for it to happen to him, so that he was able to almost concentrate on just different aspects, not always looking for the right hand. Because once everyone knows you've got a right hand, their game plan is going to be to take it away.
Lawrence Okolie's one of those. You know, that's his main asset. But let's take a little listen of what he's got to say up here.
But also watching on Sky.
Yeah. I mean, it's an hour up the road, so sort of a local show, sort of not. But yeah, it'd be good to fight in front of a packed venue.
Now, coming in undefeated, almost all of your fights by knockout. Now you're competing for the vacant title. I'm assuming you're anticipating a knockout? Any game plan you want to feed to us ahead of time?
We'll have to wait till Saturday to see. But yeah, look, business is normal. Main thing is we get in there, get the job done, come home with a W.
Easy money. Sounds good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Joe Pigford.
Well, Joe. Let's just see if we can grab a word with Joe now. Heading a big fight on Saturday night. Come down, mate. How are we, mate? Looking nice and relaxed up there, Joe. Listen, massive night Saturday night. In a huge fight as well, stepping up levels against Sam Eggington. Going in a lot of unknowns about you, as in stepping up this level. So we know what Eggington brings to the table. We've seen it time and time again. Tough fight. But at time, it's like a coming-of-age fight for you, really.
Yeah, it's a breakthrough fight. It's the fight I've been calling for. Just a big fight like this to make my breakthrough, show how good I am, or how good I believe I am, and I think it's the perfect fight for me.
Do you say that because, you know, Sam is brave and he's always there, and we know that you have big power, both hands. What on earth is that?
I thought you were trying to hit me.
I wanted to hit me. Do you feel like because of that, you know, this fight plays right into your hands?
I do. I'm not counting on it. Like, I feel like I can outbox him anyway, and his own braveness might be his downfall in the end. But we're not counting on it. We're just going to do what we do.
As far as an audience, I'm not sure if you've boxed in front of 15,000 people before. You will be the one with the more support, being from just up the road. He's coming from, you know, all the way up the road in Birmingham, wherever it is. Do you feel like that's going to help you, or do you just block out all the white noise once you get in there? It's just you and him, or did the crowd help you at all?
Do you know, I don't think it makes a difference. And if anything, like, sometimes I like to be fighting away and be the underdog or the least favourite. So it makes no difference to me, and I know that it makes no difference to Sam. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to it. Just looking forward to fighting a good atmosphere and showing people what I can do.
Joe, I want to ask you a question. What happens? We know Sam stands in front of you. What happens if you hit him straight on the chin? He does that little dance and then he comes back at you. Are you prepared for that? Because that is a reality. That could happen with someone like Sam Eggington, and you may have to go to places that you've never been before. Have you prepared for that in this training camp?
It's what we're expecting. We've trained for a long fight. If I win on points by landslide, that's the plan. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he can last through that and we win on points, that's the plan. If he can't, if he looks at me and laughs, I'm sure he will a couple of times. I don't think it'll happen too much, though.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Joe.
Good luck.
Best of luck, mate. Looking forward to Saturday night. We'll catch up with you again in the week. But another cool customer. There you go. Nice one, Joe.
Loads of them. Everyone's cool.
Absolutely. Them two are just so relaxed.
They're a match made in heaven.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest.
And it doesn't really tell in their styles. Their styles are so explosive.
Yes.
It's unreal. Now Isaac Chamberlain in the ring. Another great fight. Unfortunately, we didn't get that fight that he was talking against Mikhail Lowell. That's a shame that fight never
it was
happened.
a real big shame, you know. As soon as that fight fell through, I was getting FaceTime after FaceTime from Isaac. And it was coming from his email, so I was thinking, who the hell is this FaceTiming me? I wasn't picking up. And he was really upset, you know. He said that he had trained like never before for this. He got everything right, took himself away from home. And he said, you know, in his last spot, everything came together at the perfect time. He was so frustrated when the fight fell through, but, you know, all things happen for a reason. Hopefully he gets to put in a good performance against another good opponent as well.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it's hard. You know, when you've had a late changing opponent, sometimes you fall off the ball, you take your eyes off it, and all of a sudden you put in a horrible performance. But he said he's had such a good camp that he wants to do the camp justice.
Yeah.
And put in another good performance.
Well, it makes sense, you know. He's worked his way to this position. I mean, he was here last year in that fight of the year with Chris Billam-Smith. Unbelievably tight fight, but Chamberlain showed a lot of guts, a lot of determination, as did Chris Billam-Smith.
Yes.
You know, so he earned that right for that British title shot against McGuigan. Unfortunately, that never happened. But you think how far Isaac Chamberlain has come since that, you know, that poor performance, him and Lawrence Okolie at the O2 Arena in like his 8th fight. He took himself away, took himself abroad, training, learning on the road, etc. And here we are today. You know how he's developed.
I mean, that was years ago.
Yeah.
And if we're totally honest, he kind of went away for a while.
Absolutely.
You know, everyone was
He
asking.
went on the
where's
road.
Isaac? He went on the
He
road.
went on the road.
He went, and we saw him start to come back. And we were thinking, oh, I wonder if this is a serious comeback. He stopped somebody to the body, 4-rounders, 6-rounders, and all of that. And then all of a sudden, it was the big one, you know. And him versus Chris Billam-Smith was a fight that, you know, it just tore the roof off, honestly.
It was about opportunity, weren't it? It was all about opportunity for Isaac, because he'd had that before against Lawrence, never went that well. Like you say, went back, rebuilt, you know, come back a stronger, better fighter.
And let's be honest, he probably wasn't physically exactly where he wanted to be in order to take on a Chris Billam-Smith in Bournemouth.
Absolutely.
He probably would have really preferred to have won before that, but it still was in their engine. You know, when 12 rounds, it was honestly, you know,
it was touch and go. It was that close. You know, he had his moments, as did Billam-Smith. Great fight, you know, fight of the year contender, or did win fight of the year, I believe. And yeah, everyone would love to see that again, but it's all about showcasing his skills. I'm glad that he's still on the event, actually. You know, that he gets that opportunity.
I think it says a lot about him as well. You know, when you lose a big fight and a big opportunity like that, sometimes it's easy to be like, oh, I don't want to fight on that. I don't want to fight a 6-rounder. You know, I wanted the British.
Yeah.
But nope, he bit down. He said he's still going to do it. You know, hopefully we can get another date. He's nice and sharp. You know, as a cruiserweight, he moves beautifully. He really does. And I think he'll always have a job in the cruiserweight division because he is such a good fighter. He's always in good fights, except for that Lawrence Okolie one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was going back, like I say, it was part of the development. That was back in the early days. What was it, his 7th, 8th fight?
And let's be honest, Lawrence Okolie was just as much to blame for how kind of uneventful that fight was.
Well, they were both young fighters that were catapulted onto the big stage, O2 Arena, you know, like 15,000 people in there or whatever it was, and you go, that's a lot to ask of two young fighters. They both, if you look at both of their careers and where they've gone from then to now, it's testament to them both.
When I spoke to Isaac, you know, the plan seemed pretty simple. Go out there, put on a good performance, win, and get straight to that Sky Sports microphone and call out McGuigan again.
Yeah.
We need another date for it. Everyone wants to see it.
When would you expect that to happen? Come on, you're a man in the know.
You know what? We know it's a problem that could be a few weeks. I'm not sure if that means it's for the end of summer.
Yeah.
I think Isaac said he's waiting for the doctor's note to see, you know, how long Mikel needs to be out for. I would like to see that this summer. You know, if he can get through this Saturday with no injuries, no knocks, no cuts, no nothing, he'll be ready for the next one in 8 weeks, and hopefully Mikel can get back in camp and get ready for hopefully July would be great.
He looks in phenomenal shape. He really does. Looks nice and relaxed up there as well. Just enjoying this occasion and looking to showcase his skills on Saturday night.
Yeah. Nice and smooth.
Sharp. Timing's great.
Do you know what stunned me, Spence? When I mean, look, Mikel Lawal is a big boy, physically very big, very strong, big puncher. I was surprised when they had their face-offs at how big Chamberlain actually looked next to him.
Yeah.
Looked big.
Yeah.
Big legs. I'm not sure how he quite fits that into 90 kg, but there's a lot of him, you know, he's big.
Yeah, he's a very big cruiserweight. You look at the legs, man. The legs are huge. You know, that tells you that he likes his lot of movement, because if you look at the size of him and how mobile he is and agile he is, you know, it's very impressive. Nice smooth ribbon about him, good movement. You can tell that he's been on the road, he's learned his trade, been into the gyms. You know what I mean? Been into all the top gyms in America, etc., etc.
We'll get him. Yeah, he said he's improved vastly since training with his new trainer, Boxing Bobby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here
Good partnership,
by
that.
Isaac I.C. Chamberlain. Still has the IBF International Championship. Still looking ahead to getting that world title. Isaac, you're no stranger to Bournemouth. You put on the Fight of the Year contender last year. How does it feel to be back?
Feels amazing. Just want to say thank you to everyone coming out and support the main event. It's going to be a great fight.
Now, I got to give you props. A lot of fighters that sometimes come up here in the ring, you know, dance around a little bit, maybe hit the pads. You are full-on sweating right now. Now, we're going to be outdoors on Saturday. Are you excited to be outdoors in Vitality Stadium?
Yeah, it's going to be great. You know, I think it's my first stadium fight.
Mo actually said that like it was a surprise that he's sweating. He's boiling down here right now.
Mate, I need suntan lotion.
I'm telling you.
You built up a heck of a fan base. You obviously have family and friends supporting you as well. Anything you have to say to your support staff?
Just thank you. Thank you for everything from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. And I wish we could have got the Mike Lowell fight, but he pulled out because some phony toothache. But we keep it going.
I knew he was going to do that.
Oh, yeah? No, yeah, man.
We got Brandon Glenn here ringside.
Oh, yeah? Are you sure you've been calling me? I don't know. I've never heard. That's not what I heard. Huh?
Lowell pulled out. Who you fighting? I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now. You got to change the weight, but I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now.
Possibly a Brandon Glenn and Isaac Chamberlain fight in the future?
I'm trying to get this fight, so I had to come way over here just to get this man. We've been trying to get this fight for 2 years. He knows it.
That is an absolute lie, brother.
I don't know what you're talking about. So get this win. I'll fight August 25th. Get this win. Let's do it after this fight. How about that?
All right, let me take Mike Lowell, then we can fight 100%.
Hey, we can settle. You see, you're putting me in the middle of this negotiation. I can't do this right now. I don't get paid to do this, ladies and gentlemen. But Brandon Glenn, thank you for coming. Isaac I.C. Chamberlain, we'll see you in Vitality Stadium on Saturday. Good luck, sir.
All right, Brendan Glenn wants to fight.
Yep.
He wants to fight.
Yeah.
Chasing him for 2 years. It's the first I've heard of it.
Absolutely. First I've heard of it as well, but there you go. But look, yeah, they're having a little chat at ringside. Let's hope they keep it nice and calm.
It's always nice
Isaac
when he
looked
wants
good
to fight.
there. He looked nice and relaxed.
Yeah. Just keeping a close eye in case they need another cruiserweight to dart in the middle.
Yeah. So,
well, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, there we go.
I was
Isaac's
not
coming
expecting
round
that.
just now. Let's grab a quick word with him. See how he is.
Are you ready for CBS?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Isaac, how are you, mate? Well,
Bournemouth's
yeah, jump in the middle there, mate.
He is
Well,
the gentleman,
didn't
Chris
expect that. Didn't expect that there.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I thought you was going to tell us.
Bro, I'm not. Bro, I've heard of him, but anything you've been calling for the fight, that is a big lie, my brother.
2 years.
That's a lie. I've never, nothing at all, bro. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's flown a long way. Where'd he come from?
I don't know, but listen. Unfortunately, the fight of you and Mikel Lowell fell through, you know, through circumstances out of your control. But you still get that opportunity to box on Saturday night. You're looking phenomenal shape. Look relaxed. Do we know who the opponent is? And, you know, what sort of performance are we expecting?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. The music, I do believe what you said.
What sort of performance can we expect from you? Unfortunately, unfortunately, the fight of you and Mikel fell through no circumstances of your own, but you still get the chance to showcase your skills on Saturday night. What can we expect?
Just what I've been working on in the gym. I just want to put that into practice. This is like a
you know, it'll be good. It'll be he's against a good fighter. I think he's 13 wins and 2 losses, something like that. So he's got a winning record. I just want to just learn. This is like a learning fight for me. Just to apply what I've been practicing for Michael a while in the next fight. So this is what it is for me.
As soon as that fight fell through, you were on the phone to me.
I know.
You told me this camp has been the perfect camp. Yeah, it's gone great. Everything came together at the right time. It's very easy to be disheartened by the fact that the fight you wanted isn't going ahead, but you're determined to show everything that you've done in camp against a new opponent.
100%. I just can't wait to show my skills. Can't wait to, you know, be in front of the Bournemouth Stadium crowd. It's going to be a great experience.
15,000 people. We're expecting a vitality. You've been here before. Last time you were in the away corner. You left with everybody cheering you. They're now your fans. Yeah, so you're expecting a big reception in the vitality on Saturday night. Do you feel like that's going to help you and spur you on?
Of course, you know. But everything is from within. That's how I look at it, you know. Everything is from within. I just have to use what I've been practicing in the ring, in the gym, on fight night, and then we're good.
Well, Isaac, listen, looking forward to Saturday night, mate, and looking forward to speaking to you again in the week. Well done, mate. Now they've turned the music down. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
Well,
right.
Here we go.
Top of the bill, we have Bournemouth's very own Chris Billam-Smith in the ring. He looks in phenomenal shape. He's been confident all camp, all week. I mean, what a day for it.
Listen, this is what it's all about. This is what his career has been about. This day, Saturday night, Vitality Stadium, a dream. He dreamed about playing football there as a kid. He was no good as a footballer, but guess what? He could fight.
Mate, I think he'd make a decent centre-half if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Very decent.
But thankfully, he chose boxing. We chose boxing, and yeah, he's looking good.
He loves it.
Hey, Chris. I just said, unfortunately, you was no good as a footballer, but that's boxing's game.
Yeah, that's exactly. No good with my feet, so I have to use my hands. He's good with
Brilliant. Yeah, listen, I can't wait for that on Saturday night. This is the moment that he's been working for his whole career.
Yeah.
The development stage has been incredible, Dan, and now his opportunity comes.
I mean, when you go to sleep as a kid and you decide you want to be a boxer, and you dream of all the places that you're going to end up, this is it. It's a world title shot in your hometown of Bournemouth, and you know this isn't like. I'll be honest, the magnitude of this for Chris is going to be bigger than what it is if you were in London or from Manchester, where they're used to seeing big-time boxing. You know,
how lucky are we? Like, the boxing gods are with us, man. The sun's shining. Saturday night's going to be the same. You know, it's like it's all there for a great night.
You know what I found interesting about Chris Billam-Smith? He's been very consistent with what he said and how he's behaved since this fight was announced.
Sure.
He believes he stops Lawrence Okolie.
And Lawrence Okolie believes he stops Billam-Smith, and he's here actually. He's looking on, he's watching Chris Billam-Smith. Not that he needs to do that, they've sparred hundreds of rounds together, they've been in the gym together a lot. They're friends, they have now become rivals. Big moment for both of these guys.
It's a huge moment. Honestly, you know, this is, look, let's be honest. Every fight recently that Lawrence Okolie's had, we've expected him to win. He's always been expected to win. This will be the first one in a long time where he's going in and people will be like, oh, I'm not sure. You know, and maybe the pendulum is swinging towards Chris Billam-Smith. And
Who starts favourite? Who starts favourite? I mean, I've been swinging one way and the other, you know, and I only go by last performances. Lawrence's performance was not so good. I know he erased the occasion this time because what's on and everything else, but who starts favourite going into this one?
I mean, I actually don't know. But if I was a betting man, I would have thought Chris Billam-Smith starts as favourite.
So the boss shows up. Jump in the middle there, my friend. I'll give you a microphone.
How long
Listen.
has this stream been on?
It's been on for 2 hours. It's been on for 2 hours.
We've done good.
It's been on for 2 hours.
Spencer's pink.
Do I look like I've got sunglass marks? That's what I need to know. If I look like I've been skiing. But listen, Ben, we was here last summer in July in that phenomenal fight we had with Isaac Chamberlain and Chris Billam-Smith, Fight of the Year contender. The weather was with us. The boxing gods are with us this time. We've got the weather again. And we're expecting a massive fight and a massive night on Saturday night.
It is pretty mental. When we came here last year, and we had Isaac Chamberlain, it was an incredible fight, incredible week. We were on the beach. It was almost like wow, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. To be here 12 months later and to be selling 15,000 in the stadium for a world title down here, to have this weather, to have a sellout crowd at the stadium, it didn't look possible on many occasions. Team with the licensing and the council, they've done everything to make something, the biggest boxing event that's ever happened on the South Coast, happen. Wow, unbelievable, and yeah, it feels like a big event.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, listen, let's listen. We can have a little listen to what Chris has got to say here.
Said, I want to bring boxing to Bournemouth, and you have done that in spades. You had a Fight of the Year contender last year, you had a Knockout of the Year contender last year, and now you've brought a world title here. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling superb. You know, it's been a great journey since I've signed with Boxers, Sky Sports, and you know, the fans are the ones that have made it happen. They turn out, and they turn out for me time and time again, and Saturday night I get to repay them.
Now you had the British, the Commonwealth, the European, but now you have your eyes set for a world title, and you get to do it in your own home at Vitality Stadium. An amazing crowd is going to show up for you. Ahead of that, ahead of Saturday night, what do you have to say to that Bournemouth crowd?
Just thank you. You know, I promise I will give absolutely everything I have done all camp, and I'll be sure to be bringing that belt back and keeping it in Bournemouth. So a huge thank you to the fans. Make plenty of noise, and I'm excited.
Now you're going up against a former gym mate in Lawrence Okolie. Maybe have a little bit of secrets, some tricks of the trade that you've seen him do. As we head into this, anything that we're going to see new from you, or is it going to be the same gentleman? Obviously, same gentleman always puts on a show, but anything that we can look forward to from you specifically?
Yeah, you know, it's been a superb camp. I've been in camp all year, taking over at the start of the year, gradually building up, working on new stuff with Shane, working on new stuff with my strength conditioning coach. I'm in the shape of my life, I really am. So I'm just so excited to put on the display on Saturday.
I'm excited too. I know the Bournemouth fans are excited. They didn't bring the gloves, but we're going to see you shake out a little bit more. You have all these lovely Bournemouth fans here for you, so while we continue with the workout, ladies and gentlemen, one half of our championship main event, the challenger, the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith.
And he is a gentleman.
Yeah, he is. He certainly is. Seemed nice and relaxed there, to be fair.
Very.
Seemed nice and relaxed.
Keeps in shape very nicely. I think styles in this fight and game plans are going to be very interesting. We're going to have one trying to stay on the outside, and one perhaps. Do you know what? I don't think Chris Billam-Smith gets enough credit for what he can do from the outside.
Absolutely. You know, his main game is obviously the short game inside, the way that he works inside. But you got to be able to get there.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, do you know what I mean? You got to be able to close that gap.
Well,
and he's going to need all those skills on Saturday night. Let's bring Ben back in. Nice of you to join us again, Ben.
Is that mic on, mate? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just
All right,
making
we'll
sure.
go. Well, listen, what do you make there of Chris Billam-Smith? Seems nice and relaxed here. Open workouts. Ben, this is all about opportunity, right? You've delivered him this opportunity. He's worked hard to get here. He's done it the old school way. You know, gone through winning the British title, European, Commonwealth. He's got this world title opportunity, 15,000 Vitality Stadium, and look at how he's dealing with it. The guy is lapping it up. He's relaxed.
No, for me, this is what, yes, boxing, but British boxing is all about. To do it the hard way, to build your fan base, to then fight for a world title in a stadium. That's what he will have dreamt of when he first put on gloves. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he gets to do it now against Lawrence Okolie in a domestic world title fight against someone he knows. This is what dreams are made of, and I think for him, he probably thought this might never happen. So right now, he's enjoying the week. He's enjoying every day, and this is a very special moment for him.
This fight was taken by Lawrence Okolie just a week after his fight against David Light. How simple were the negotiations to get them both to agree to this fight?
When we first signed both of them, we thought this fight was impossible. We thought it would never happen. But I think Lawrence Okolie said something about Shane, and everything switched. And that was it. And the bets were off. Chris Billam-Smith wanted this fight as soon as he saw that performance against David Light. And Lawrence Okolie, I think it was a perfect fight for both of them, because Lawrence took that defeat hard. He took that defeat hard, and he wanted to put it right. And straight away, he gets an opportunity to fight in a stadium against Chris Billam-Smith. For Chris Billam-Smith, this is dreams come true. So for both of them, it's the right fight at the right time.
They were friends, now they're rivals. They say there's no, there's no animosity between the two. It's all about business. They will know each other inside out. They've sparred hundreds of rounds together. But it's different when it's competition, when they've got the small gloves, the atmosphere, anybody losing their head, not sticking to the game plan. One small mistake from either guy and the fight could be over. And that is the reality of how close this fight is.
You know what's interesting is this is a different Lawrence Okolie. That one hurt him. As big as a Sugar, he's been working harder. He wants to change his style. He wants to have a fight. And that makes for a great fight on Saturday night. Chris Billam-Smith, we know, can be easy to hit. Lawrence Okolie is going to go for him. And we're going to see a great fight. But as you say, they both can hit hard. We saw that with Chris in December. We know Lawrence can absolutely bang as well. This is going to be a real fight. And I'm hoping we're going to see Lawrence Okolie as well put on a statement.
I was going to say, to be fair to Lawrence, that performance against David Light wasn't particularly good. He looked flat. He looked like he was trying things. Timing was out. But you've got to give him, you've got to allow that. He was in the changeover of trainers. He'd been working with SugarHill. Like Sugar said, listen, I saw small glimpses of what we're working on, but he comes straight back to the gym. We've been working on it more, and now you're going to see a more finished article. You're going to see a Lawrence Okolie that is 100 times better than the last one.
As well. Even though it wasn't his greatest performance, he was never in danger of losing even rounds. He was in total control. We just didn't see him look explosive and get that right hand off until maybe the end of the fight. Hopefully for him and SugarHill, this is beginning to glue together, and maybe the fact that the occasion is so big, especially for Chris Billam-Smith, that he kind of brings the fight to him.
What are you expecting on Saturday? What sort of fight are you expecting, Ben?
I am hoping, but also expecting a completely different Lawrence Okolie. I've said to him, it's not about winning on Saturday night, it's about having a fight. It's about telling fans why they should watch you. He doesn't care. He's a world champion. He brings it on. He likes the haters, but for a guy to go from a fight and 7 weeks later to take on a stadium in someone else's hometown in a voluntary defense deserves a lot of credit. But now he wants a performance to go to it. I do expect a very different animal, and from speaking to SugarHill, he feels that this camp he's been able to implement what he wants to. He's been able to have those deep conversations about where he wants Lawrence Okolie to go, and I think that's why we'll see a great fight.
Brilliant. Well, Ben, listen, thanks so much, mate. Looking forward to chatting to you again in a week. We're going to bring Shane McGuigan in now. Shane, how are you, my friend?
Good, mate.
Looking nice and relaxed there, mate. Enjoying the sun?
Not as much as you, mate, but yeah, I'm enjoying it a little bit, yeah.
Well, listen, I've been here for 2 hours, standing here chatting for 2 hours, so good to bring you in, good to chat to you. Shane, You know these two fighters better than anyone. You've had them both in the gym. Well, Lawrence Okolie was under your watchful eye for a few years. You've had Chris Billam-Smith for a number of years, since the beginning, right from the beginning. How's this fight won and lost, mate? You tell me, you know them both so well. What can I suppose
it's watching them spar. It's one of them things that I genuinely believe that they've done enough rounds together that Chris knows that he can't let them tie him up, and that's something that when you haven't sparred or fought Lawrence, when you get in there you realise how effective he is. So the fact that he's done multiple rounds, he knows where he can't linger. He knows how much he has to sort of put into his attacks, follow them up. And at the same time, he knows that he can't switch off because Lawrence is a world-class puncher, someone to catch him at the end of the shot. So it's just going to be an amazing fight.
Well, how does he close the gap, though? I suppose this is the million-dollar question, right? So we know Chris Billam-Smith is very effective on the inside. We know Lawrence Okolie's effective on the outside. This is where the fight can be won or lost. The timing has got to be perfect, right? Chris Billam-Smith has got to close the gap, and when he closes the gap, it's got to be at the right time. Because we know that Lawrence has got dynamite in that right hand.
But Lawrence is effective on the inside as well. And I feel like in this camp we've worked on making Chris as effective on the outsiders and that transition in. So not going to go and give our game plans away, but there's certain tricks that you can do so that negates that sort of size and strength on the inside. So we got to just try and go out there and execute it.
I was going to say that to the naked eye from the outside looking in, it's Lawrence on the outside and it's Chris on the inside. But I think Chris is very much underrated for what he's able to do from the outside and how he measures distance. Do you feel like this is a fight? I mean, I know Chris has said it from the beginning. He believes he can win this and will win this by knockout. Do you believe that if it goes to a points decision that he wins it anyway?
No, I think it's going to be hard for us to win it on points unless he drops Lawrence and gets enough rounds.
Lawrence has got a great ability to nick rounds. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's spent his whole career doing, really. Like, you know, he's either blitzing someone out or he's nicking rounds. He's not making it convincing. But he's world class at that. That's his selling point. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, we got to be clever that we don't give away rounds, that we can do certain things to double the distance and make sure that, you know, he's not giving nothing on the outside.
How big of a role do you think you play in this? You know, and they know each other very well. But how do you feel like your instructions are going to be the telling point in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I hope so. I hope so. It'd be a bit arrogant to say that I'm going to win this fight for Chris. It's Chris going to go in there and do it himself.
It's about tactics, though, Shane, and you know both fighters better than anyone, and that is the reality of it. Like, you know, at top
I know their
level,
weaknesses and I know their strengths.
Top level, the weaknesses and strengths. But listen, we've got to let you go because you're due to be somewhere else. Because everyone wants a bit of Shane McGuigan right now.
All right,
Shane,
cheers, guys.
Thanks so much, mate. We look forward to continue this again in the week. But brilliant, mate. Thanks so much.
I've got two mics.
Two mics.
Two mics, yeah.
Which one do I use? So he's just been nicked off us. Shane's just been nicked off us. But yeah, interesting stuff there from Shane and he. Being one on the
He's downplaying it.
Yeah,
I really do. I think he's downplaying it, as you would at this point. I think he is a massive key cog in how this fight goes. You know, the instructions are everything in this. I keep asking him and Sugar this question just because in my heart of hearts, I do believe they both revert back to form, and it doesn't necessarily
that
become
happens
a
anyway. That happens anyway, you know, like when the fight gets tough, listen, trust me on this one, when you get into round 9, 10, 11, 12 and fatigue sets in, and then it's not about your technical ability, it's about your mental strength.
Yes.
You revert to what you know.
Yes.
And that's what happens, and that's where we could go with this contest, because if this fight goes long, that's what happened, they'll revert to what they know.
Do you think there is an advantage for either one, depending on the round? Does somebody have a good fast start? Does somebody fade late on? Does somebody come on strong?
I think Billam-Smith's the guy that comes on strong. Billam-Smith's the one that likes to work at pace. I think that Lawrence Okolie likes to control the pace. He likes to keep it at his own time. He'll pop the jab, he'll throw the cross, he'll go for a little walk.
Yeah.
You know, Billam-Smith's the workhorse.
Yeah.
He likes to grind out the victories. You know, and that's what it could all be about. Like Billam not jumping onto a shot, but also trying to take that rest play away from Lawrence Okolie.
Yeah, I totally agree. In many ways, Okolie is a snake charmer, if you like. You know, he manages to bring you down to whatever level.
He's a master at what he does.
He is.
You know that some
Really
people
is.
might think that it's not pleasing on the eye, but it's effective.
Of course.
You know?
Looks nice and limber. Nice and nimble in there. He's bouncing a lot. It's the Kronk style. I'm intrigued to see how it all comes together this time round. You know, sometimes you need a couple of camps in order things.
Well, he's had them couple of camps now.
Has he had 2?
Yeah, well, this is the second one.
This is the second
one. Couple of camps.
Yeah.
That's 2, isn't it?
That's
right?
2. Well, a couple means 2. Yeah.
So, you know,
I mean,
he's going to be an improved fighter from the last one. He's got to be, right?
He always has
Like,
to.
he can't afford. He's got to be 110% better than he was against David Light.
Yep. I'm not even sure.
Taking nothing away from David Light, but that's where he needs to be.
I think David Light was.
He impressed me, David Light, by the way.
He did.
He was better than what I
I
thought.
think
I give him credit.
faded quite a lot because
I give him
he
credit
faded
where
to
credit's
come in.
due.
He was better than we expected, but he would be. You know, WBO mandatory. You don't get.
Yeah,
there.
but I wasn't expecting a lot. I looked at him on YouTube, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting a lot, and he raised his game.
Yeah.
So I
He
take
kept
that
his
back.
left hand nice and high. You know, I think that is one of the things that will make you successful against Lawrence Okolie. Providing that left hand is positioned absolutely perfectly, and you can catch these shots. Timing is absolutely everything in this fight. When Chris Billam-Smith goes, he has to do it at the right time.
Absolutely, you know, just interesting watching Lawrence there, who's bouncing up on his toes, he's flicking out of the jab, he's teeing up with that right uppercut a lot. That could be a key shot. You know, Billam-Smith comes in, and when he piles that pressure on, he has a tendency to go square at times.
He does. Yep.
That's the key shot, man, the uppercut through the middle. Key shot
Money
through
Mace
the middle.
giving me instructions. Money
Yeah,
Mace.
yeah.
Money Mace.
I mean, if you want to come in and say your little bit, mate, it's up to you. You know? These part-timers, I don't know.
Said he's retired. We said
Yeah,
about time, Mace.
Yeah, he looks nice and relaxed up
He
there,
does.
Lawrence. He really does. He looks good.
What can you see, other than the absolute obvious, mate, Spence? What can you see as the core differences in Lawrence Okolie since joining SugarHill, as opposed to what he was under Shane McGuigan?
Livelier on his feet, using his attributes to his advantage. His height, standing tall, flicking jabs, and variety of shot. Yeah, what we saw against David Light last time was, yeah, we saw the jab, we see the cross. But I want to see more. I want to see the uppercut follow through with the hook and the shot. I want to see him setting traps.
He is that kind of fighter though, isn't he?
Creative.
He is the kind of fighter that keeps his right hand in his holster,
yeah,
until it's really ready to go. You know, he doesn't want to let it go unless he knows it's going to land. And a lot of the cruiserweights are like that. Apart from Billam-Smith, he'll let his right hand go whenever he feels like it. But Riappor's the same, big power in the right hand, and because of it, he holds it. Holds it.
Yeah, but you know what? Against Billam-Smith, he won't be able to hold it, because Billam's going to be in his face. As the fight wears on, forget the first 2 or 3 rounds where, it'll probably be cagey, you know, and they'll be taking their time, they'll be showing a lot of respect. As that fight wears on, you know, and you've got all the marbles on the line, you roll the dice.
In a way, I'm sure you'll agree, Spence. Yeah. As long as this is an exciting, good fight, there are kind of no losers, apart from the fighter that loses the world title.
Absolutely.
But when you look at the division as a whole, you've got Isaac Chamberlain, you've got Mikel Lawal, you've got...
How great is it? We've got 2 of the, 2 British guys, 2 of the top guys in the division fighting for the WBO title, you know, like, this is a good time for British boxing.
It is, and especially for the cruiserweight division.
I choked myself, did you see that? I think I swallowed my tongue. I've been talking so long. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really competitive division. Win or lose, as long as you give a good account of yourself, you're in. You know, Isaac Chamberlain's taken. He's proved that.
It's all right. Hey, Jamie, that's fine. It's fine. You know, we're only like. Yep. That's the shot. I told you, that's the shot. Watch for it. Watch for it. Boom. There it is. That's the shot.
Looks nice and lively.
Yeah.
He looks ready.
He does. He looks sharp. He looks like a different fighter to the one that we saw a few months ago. He looks nice and ready, man. He looks sharp. He looks compact. And, you know, the feet are moving well. Yeah, it's good. Looks good.
When I spoke to Chris Billam-Smith, I said, give me the strength of Lawrence Okolie's. He said, his awkwardness. I said, give me a weakness. He said, his awkwardness.
Yeah.
He believes that the very thing that makes Lawrence Okolie tick and makes him good and hard to beat is going to be his downfall.
Yeah, but do you know what? He knows what that awkwardness is, and that's the difference. Where fighters that go in with Lawrence, they don't realise until they're in there, and then he uses that to his advantage. Guess what? Billam-Smith's got a head start, because he knows what that is. When you can work out the awkwardness, that gives you a big advantage. That may play a key factor in this fight.
I think it does, I really do. The fact that he knows them, and look, we've heard Shane McGuigan say then, you can't let him tie you up.
Shane says it with a smile on his face. Like, you know, when I say to him, you seem confident. You seem happy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm good. I'm good. Do you know what I mean, though?
It's true. There is a glimmer. There is something.
Yeah.
But we get the same thing from SugarHill. SugarHill is very interested in knockouts.
Of course.
He knows what he wants.
Absolutely. You know, you got 2 top fighters going head to head, 2 top trainers going head to head. Could all be down to tactics, who makes the fundamental mistakes, etc., etc. But both guy has got the power, got the money shot to take the other guy out.
Exactly.
That's what makes this fight interesting. That's what makes this fight interesting. You having a little cream up there, mate? Yeah.
Hey, mate, it's boiling.
It is very hot. I've got to say, it's very hot. We've brought the weather with us. That's what I'll say. I mean, I don't know what it's like in the country, where you are in the country, but I've got to tell you, down here, it's like being abroad.
Yeah, mate, I just come from Marbella and it wasn't this hot.
Am I looking red?
You're getting there. We'll be off air soon.
I mean, I've had these glasses on for 2 hours now. Don't look like I've been skiing, does it?
Nah, you look fine.
Yes,
you look fine. Tomorrow you're going to be glowing, Spence.
I hope so.
When we're back here tomorrow, you're going to be glowing.
I'm hoping so.
Lawrence is whipping that uppercut. He's really whipping it now. think we see half of the game plan right there.
I do as well. You know, there's no rocket science to this. What Lawrence does is everything he does is effective, but it's basic but effective. You know, there's no rocket science to what he does. He's all about timing and executing that shot. That's what he's about, you know? But you're expecting a straight right hand and it comes from up.
Yes.
That can be the difference. That can be the difference.
Gloves are going on. I felt like this around 10 minutes ago where I was just like, I can't look that way. The sun is absolutely... the sun's getting the better of me. The sun is getting the better of me.
I think I've caught the sun. Wow. Yeah, it's very warm here.
What are we doing later?
I can't really say too much. You know what I mean? Can't say too much. Wow.
Gloves are going on.
Yeah. This is it. We'll see a little bit of, you know, what he's been doing in the gym was just him demonstrating a little bit, but not too much to be fair.
Feels like a big fight this. Middle of the day on a Wednesday. Hundreds here. Oh, you're getting it.
Front up, mate.
Oh, it is. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Wow. I better take these off just to get the eyes round, you know? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
When I was driving down this morning, the sun was...
Wow. Yeah, I probably done myself a favour keeping your glasses on because stop the burning, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
nothing has changed all camp from either of them. They've both been confident the whole way through.
Yeah, they're oozing confidence right now.
Calm.
Yeah.
No animosity, but this fight doesn't need it. You know, some fights need bad blood in order to make them attractive. This one, everybody who knows anything about boxing knows it's a big fight.
Absolutely, yeah. This last bit of preparations going on here, just taping the gloves up, make sure there's no
laces flying around.
Yeah, injuries happening before the big fight on Saturday night.
What would be your plan here, Spence?
To get some sun cream on this. No, I'm just joking.
If you're Lawrence Okolie and you're putting on the gloves right now, not even on fight night, I'm talking right now.
No, just go through the motions.
Are you going through the motions?
I'm going through. All the hard work's been done now. All the hard work's been done now. It's just about refining the tactics, going over it, you know. And that's what we're going to see now. I don't think we'll see too much, if I'm honest.
Just going through
it. You know, just going through the motions.
Really taking their time here, making everybody wait.
Yeah, yeah. Some people dancing in the crowd. I hope they pull off a bit better moves than that later, but that's another story.
Showing us it.
Yep.
Showing us it. You almost knocked out SugarHill there. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, looking sharp. Looking sharp. Timing looks good.
I mean, everyone knows it. It's the right hand.
Let me see that right here, champ. There you go. There you go. Timing looks good. Timing looks good.
There we go. Where that hook at, champ? We see that hook, champ?
It's a stinger.
Yeah, it certainly is. But you know what it is that this is the first time you get a look at a fighter up close in fight week, and you know, like, physically he looks great, timing looks good, mentally he's on point.
Yep.
You know, We're in for a big night on Saturday, that's for sure.
I mean, subconsciously, I think you always do it, you know. Even when you're fighting a mandatory and it's David Light and it's, you know, maybe it is a little bit hard to get up for it.
Yeah.
This isn't, everyone can be guilty
This is
of that.
rivalry.
This is rivalry. And there's a lot on the line. And it looks like it. I mean, this is a different public workout to what I saw before. This is a different demeanor in him.
Yeah, I agree. That's the shot we're talking about.
There we go.
You see it. You see it here first.
You see that?
Looks very good.
Make a spin, Tyler.
It looks nice and strong,
Yeah,
nice and
looks
quick.
relaxed, focused. Like I say, they're just going through the motions at the moment.
This is what I was wondering, you know, if he would show us this. Chris Billam-Smith showed us effectively nothing. You know, he just went through it, showed us that he's in great shape.
Different game plans, you know, different game plans, what people are willing to show, what they're not willing to show.
I had a feeling Lawrence Okolie was going to show us a little bit more.
Yeah, he's having a nice little workout here. There's that shot
there
we're
you go.
talking about. That little uppercut, that could be key.
Uppercut left hook. SugarHill going through the motions with him right now. Quite unconventional up at these weights to hook off your jab.
Listen, you know, he's showing us some good skill set here, some good boxing IQ, ring craft, all of that. Yeah, he looks focused, looks ready, he looks ready for sure.
Chris, you're swinging that out, baby.
No way, who said that? I never heard of 2-minute rounds. I'm a 3-minute round man. Who's that? I reckon the big man said something, did he? Nah, man, I'm all for the freeze. Don't want to be messing with the team, you know?
Definitely not. Get them on side early.
Yeah, just get them on side, you know?
All right, now we're seeing a little bit more about the feints. That was a feature of the corner in the David Light fight.
Yeah,
they were
sure.
saying we want more feints. Control the ring with your feints.
Wow.
Having a real go for it. Yeah.
Feeling a bit
really
red,
hot.
you know?
It's hot. It's hot. Really is. Shot. That negotiation, Spence, for the centre of the ring early doors.
That's what it's all about.
How important is it?
Who controls the centre of the ring? You know, we know Billam-Smith's the type of guy that likes to come forward. He likes to hustle his way in, close the gap, etc. Lawrence looks like tactically he's looking to hold the centre of the ring. Put Chris on the back foot where he's not comfortable. Drill up behind the jab, drilling the right uppercuts.
I mean, the body language here from Lawrence suggests he's taking it. He's not.
It's
not up for negotiation. I'm taking centre of the ring.
Right there.
Yep, and that could be. That's what I'm saying. This is all about tactics. Who gets it right? Who gets it wrong? Etc.
I've been impressed. I really have. He showed us more than perhaps
Right there.
most people thought.
There you go. Timing's good again.
Hey, Chris.
Looks good.
Hey, Chris. Chris, you hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there it is. Line him up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
Yeah.
Looking sharp.
It's what we needed to see actually from Lawrence, you know, looking at the last performance where things weren't, he looked like he was caught between styles.
Yes, yeah, exactly that.
Now
Exactly
it looks like it's all come together and it has to for Saturday night. You know, this could be the biggest fight of his career today.
And the thing is, David Light was always going to make him look bad because he's an awkward opponent. The one thing, Chris Billam-Smith is a lot of things. The one thing he's not is awkward.
Well, look, Chris is joining us now. Chris, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good.
You look nice. Well, I want to talk about like you up there first of all, like how relaxed you was. This is a huge night, Saturday night. The moment you've been working for your whole career. Vitality Stadium, 15,000 fans. We've seen what it's like with 4,000 fans. It's going to be insane in there, mate. And you look like you are soaking up the occasion.
Yeah, you know, what's the point of being in this sport and working all those years for an opportunity like this and not enjoying it and not soaking it up.
But how difficult is it to keep yourself calm? You know, me and Dan were talking about this. You know, when you've got 15,000 fans there screaming for you, you've got a game plan. You've got to stick to that game plan. It's easy to run away with it, roll the dice, and as we know, and you know better than anyone else, Lawrence has that big right hand. You've got to be educated and time things right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, everyone knows Lawrence can punch, but it's also not necessarily. It's not all just about that. Obviously, you've got to stay safe, but a lot of people stay safe and they go to points and they lose on a points decision. So you've got to be educated in your pressure, but be smart enough to also get in the position. Yeah, know when to go and land those shots.
You're very good mid-range, short range, but you're underrated long range as well. A lot of people will be saying you've got to get inside Lawrence. Do you see it that way, or do you feel like you can beat him at any point in any way?
It's a world title fight. You've got to be good at everything. You've got to be able to do some at long range. You've got mid and short. No one's had any success with Lawrence at short range because he's hugging you. So you've got to be able to, if you are at short range, be in the right position to punch. And that's what me and Shane have been working on.
Is that one of the main things, you know, Lawrence likes to almost snake charm his opponents into having maybe a low punch output? Is one of the main things to make sure that you're active and busy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always active and busy, which is one of my best attributes. So I think doing that is not taking too much away from my game and what I do well. So it's important to carry on doing that.
Chris, you know that Lawrence is one of his main assets is his awkwardness and how awkward he is and how he ties fighters up on the inside. Well, you've been there before, so you know how he does that. You know how to get out of that. Could that be a key factor in this contest that actually you're not going to get in there and think you're looking at him, and then when fighters get in there with him, they don't realise how awkward he is. You do. Could that be a key factor in this fight?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what everyone struggles with when they haven't been in there. To be fair, I've always rated Lawrence, even from the amateurs, because I could see the awkwardness and the effectiveness. A lot of people go in there and go, he's not excited, so he's not very good. But I've always known that. So, and then obviously sharing the ring with him, I know what he does very well. But yeah, I think having all those rounds under my belt is so beneficial and a problem for Lawrence because he's never had to go in there with someone who's got that experience on him.
Sure. Also, as well as the experience, on paper, you've got a lot of things going in your favour. You're in your hometown of Bournemouth, 15,000 people that will be asking for his head on a platter. You've got the better momentum going into this fight. You've had some really good performances here in Bournemouth. His last performance was underwhelming. Still showed some of what he's been working on, but underwhelming. Do you feel like that, coupled with the fans, coupled with your recent form, just makes it the perfect time for you to beat him?
Yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life, and by a long stretch compared to my last fight to this fight, I'm in good shape. So it really doesn't matter who is in the other corner in that sense. I'm in a really good place, and that's the most important thing. That's, you know, I can control the controllables, so I got to worry about myself, and that's what I've been doing all camp and focusing on that. And yeah, you know, whatever Lawrence turns up, I'm ready for.
Listen, all the hard work's been done now. We're here, open workouts. Like I say, you're never going to get any fitter, you're never going to get any unfitter. It's all about tactics, executing the right game plan, working on the right game plan. You and Shane will have that game plan. If something happens in that fight, you do walk onto one and big right hands, whatever, you're prepared to go to plan B. You're prepared to go to the well. You're prepared to bite down your gumshoe. You've covered all those, have you?
Yeah, you know, I'm always prepared mentally for every situation, which is what a lot of people don't do in this sport. I'm prepared for anything that happens in the fight, to overcome it, endeavour through adversity, and come out on top.
Do you feel like you're his best opponent?
Yes.
There's a, you know, it's been a long time since we've seen Lawrence in a fight where people are unsure if he wins it or not. You've been in loads of them. Honestly, you know, you've come through domestically, beating everybody in front of you, pretty much. You know, a very tight loss against Richard Riapor. How do you see the fight playing out early doors? You know, do you feel like there's going to be a tough negotiation for the center of the ring?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Not giving much away. Not giving much. He's locked in.
Listen, Chris, best luck for Saturday night. We're going to catch you through the week anyway. Looking fantastic up there, mate. Can't wait for the atmosphere in the Vitality Stadium. Look forward to speaking to you again in the week. Well done, Chris. Brilliant. Great stuff.
It's a long workout.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
he's
long
using
workout.
this as like one of his main workouts here. You can see.
Chris looks good.
Yeah, Chris looks nice
happy.
and relaxed, focused. He knows the job in hand.
Yep.
You know, it's whether he can keep that together on the night in front of his home fans. We know that he loves the fight.
Yep.
He's just being careful not to get drawn into that fight at the right time, at the wrong time.
Yep.
You know, he has to execute that plan at the right time.
You get the idea here that both of them know exactly what
they
they
do.
have to do to win.
Absolutely.
It's just who can do it.
Absolutely, listen, and that's what it is. And you know, if someone makes a little fundamental mistake, that changes the pattern
They're
of
in
the
big
fight
trouble.
dramatically. You know, I think they both know that. They both know, when you speak to both of these guys, what they both know is, this is a hard fight.
100%.
I know what I'm going into.
Yeah. They know it's
You
war.
know, they're not going in there like believing something else is going to happen. These guys know they're in for a war.
You know, still SugarHill going over the meticulous details. You can see him. He's
nice.
They're happy. Looks nice everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys are done. You look relaxed, baby. You look relaxed.
Looking good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here
Go, I love
by the
SugarHill.
champion on Saturday, Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence, look, a lot of people when they come in here do an open workout, they kind of just shake out, run around the ring. You and Sugar go, no. We're going to do a full workout. You are fully
You showed us
right
everything.
now. I can tell that you are focused on this challenge on Saturday.
He looks good. He looks sharp. Very sharp.
Full training session is just a little bit of a shakeout. I'll probably carry on in there because I like to keep firing until
How's he looking?
it's time to rest.
He's looking
Now,
fantastic.
Preparing for
I like
this
your
fight,
comments.
so much that you and Chris were former teammates, and we've heard from McGuigan a lot talking about.
I've got
what
to
he
say,
knows about you, but
I've
you
got to
know
say, the
a lot
timing
about Chris as
looks a
well.
lot better than
So
the
going
last time I
into
saw him when he was in
this
with
preparation,
David
how much
Light.
of those former
You know, when you
training
look at a
sessions
fighter and he
helped
looks,
Well, yeah, it's definitely
he looked
helped
more
with my
complete
conditioning,
here
so
than I did last time. Maybe he was caught between styles the last time.
He was boxing with me and Bulletproof most of the time.
Right.
Both of us, we boxed him.
Amen to that. Now,
The whole camp.
you have taken your belt
look
on
good.
the road.
Thank
you
you.
know
For me.
You look
what
great
you're
up
walking
there.
into. You
Thanks.
know that he's from Bournemouth. And
I mean, you
all
look
the
like
boys
you've
are
trimmed
there,
up.
But I can tell you love that
Put a
challenge.
bulge
You're
on a bit of
fighting
muscle.
champion. You want to prove that one that you're a fighting champion, so you packed up that belt and you're heading to
What about
Vitality
me?
Stadium.
I had a shoulder
You're
injury.
excited to
How
be
am I
in front of
looking?
that
You're
massive
looking
Bournemouth
fantastic.
crowd, despite being
Letting the sun
the
beat
away
off you right
side.
into my face. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be pretty standard. You know, there's going to be a ring walk. He's going to go first. I'll go second. They'll announce him first. I'll announce me second, and then we start fighting, and then we see what happens then.
Any prediction from you?
All right, now seeing him in person, I think I'm going to stop him in the mid rounds.
Well, we're excited. I know the fans are excited. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, defending Saturday night, he is the
Interesting.
sauce, Lawrence Okolie.
Yeah, we got some questions we want to ask you.
Let's nick him first.
Let's nick him first.
Lawrence, looking nice, sharp,
you said-
focused. Timing looks good in there. How do you
Ladies
feel?
and gentlemen,
I feel
thank
good.
you
All
for
the
coming
same stuff
out
you
to
said.
the open
Nice,
workouts
sharp,
today. We'll be
focused.
back here
So,
tomorrow
same again.
for the official
Listen,
press conference.
something interesting you said up there. You said now you've seen him, you think you're going to stop him mid rounds. Tell us why you think that.
Sometimes in life, you know, when you're away from someone, it becomes out of sight, out of mind, and you kind of can build them up or tear them down, however you like. In my training camp, I built him up to be this Golovkin at cruiserweight bomber, coming forward, throwing combination after combination, round after round. So I've really mentally taken myself to a hard place in preparation. Now I see him in person, I just remember it's Chris.
Yeah, so what did you see that made you feel like this fight's over in
Like,
mid round?
The same person with just maybe a bit more conditioning and slightly bigger. So, and the fact is, he's not. As I said, I look over, I see Chamberlain, a great fighter, but not that big. So when you got people like Chris's main attribute is attrition and being able to kind of get his head on people's chest and graft them out. for all of this talk of like mid-range punching and stuff like that, you never really see him do it when someone's throwing shots back at him. He has to be in a really comfortable position to feel comfortable to throw shots. This fight, he might try and step out of that box, but I'm not. These guys, do you know what I mean? When I hit him, he's gonna know he's been hit. So we'll see.
I think it's fair to say we didn't see a vintage Lawrence Okolie last time out against David Light. You look like you may have been caught cross between styles, still learning stuff and still working stuff with SugarHill. Are we going to see something different on Saturday night to what we saw last time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, talk is cheap. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I know how camp's gone. I know how sparring's gone. I know how I feel about the night. So I'm going to do nothing except for what I've been instructed to do and a little bit of a Cody sauce.
Last one, 15,000 people going to be on Chris Billam-Smith's side. Does that spur you on? Do you feel like that's going to give him, you know, maybe the extra couple of % that he might need to stay in there with you?
No, none of that stuff's going to matter. You know, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, as Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face. So,
well, Lawrence, before we get punched in the face, mate, you got a live on Sky Sports over there, so you better go, mate, or someone.
Congratulations on your workout. I never seen you get there. I never seen anybody get there with a sparring partner.
Brilliant, Lawrence. Thanks so much, man.
I mean, guys, you saw it.
I saw it. He does. He looks very sharp.
Listen, I'm impressed with Lawrence Okolie and what I've seen there. His jab, his right hand, his game plan. Yeah. But even more impressive is this man here, SugarHill. Look at him. Look at him. Phenomenal.
Every time.
Phenomenal.
Of course it's on. I need more fighters working in there because I'm just not starting to get my feel. And they got the cool breeze from the sea. Oh, it feels good, but I'd rather just keep working. Because then that brings me a good night later.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow. There you go. Anyway,
thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Listen, can't wait for Saturday night. We'll catch up with you again before that. Sorry, mate, if that was a bit hard. It's just I've been working out a little bit. I apologise. Well, yeah, there you go. There you go. The open workout has been. Yeah, it's been great. Honestly, it's been great. Listen, look at the sunburn. Look at the sunburn. 2 hours.
We've earned it today, mate.
We have, mate.
We've talked for a long time.
We have.
Listen, guys. Last reminder. There are a few remaining tickets. They will be gone in the next 48 hours. If you want to see this incredible night of boxing, go to boxer.com and get these tickets right now.
Last opportunity, guys. The weather is going to be unbelievable.
Look at this.
And the fight is going to be fireworks, baby. Make sure you get those last few remaining tickets.
Chris Billam-Smith is putting Bournemouth on the map.
A world title here has been my dream since I turned pro. Fingers crossed we can get the stadium and a world title as well.
Let's keep going, let's press on to the Q's here next year and win that world title.
Be a dream come true.
A knockout like that for his fans ahead of a stadium fight is a perfect ending.
I will box Chris Billam-Smith and give him a world title opportunity. This is it. This is the date. I'm ready to go.